then let's go ahead and get started. Where we left off, as I'm sure the majority of you remember anyways, after the frantic escape from the rectory under the Cathedral of the Righteous Hand, and with the help of Lieutenant Sampson, you managed to convince Pogo's spirit to return to his body. You also returned with Sarah's traumatized and shell-shocked father Theodore, and a scared dwarven man who speaks in this kind of garbled, unintelligent noises. You left off in the temple room, but I assume everybody's kind of started to go their separate ways a bit. I'll go ahead and move us over to the Crow Fort. And what would you all like to do?
Well, that was terrifying. Did you get your father out all right? Is he the dad who you're looking for?
Yep. Not real sure how he's doing, but we found him. So, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all very much. That was an experience. Has that ever happened to any of you before? Pogo's kind of like rubbing his shoulders and like he feels weird.
Nope. Can't say that I've died.
Yeah, I don't recommend that.
No.
I would not recommend that at all. This lasts longer. How long was I out for?
How long was that? Like 15 minutes? Maybe?
Because of the start of the it was probably only about 10 or so before he was on the table and ready to start the ritual. But it was at least probably 15 or so by the time he was back.
Yeah, I felt like a lot longer there, wherever I was. Felt like I was just in the darkness, confused and lost for maybe an hour, too. It's weird.
So it was just darkness? There wasn't anything there?
I mean, I don't know if it was a dream or not, but eventually someone showed up and spoke a little bit, and this hooded figure, and gave me a few options. And I don't know, felt like almost like when we were with that fairy girl, just almost playful, toying with me a little bit, and said they'd help me bring back. And I think it was just probably something with you guys doing here, and I guess it was just got in my brain perhaps, but it was interesting. I was wondering if any of you guys have ever had something similar happen.
Nope.
Cool.
Yeah, luckily.
Oh. So now what are we doing? We still have to get you guys back to the things you got to do.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get my dad settled first.
What are we back at the Crow Fort? Is that where we even are? Holy crap.
Yep.
That was a fucking... You guys did a lot in 15 minutes.
It was hectic. Oh, we found
But
Samson.
no one else died, right? We didn't have to kill anyone else?
Nope. Did he wake up while Samson was still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Samson kind of chided him for his sins and so on, and then left. In chains.
Ooh.
What are you guys doing?
Alright, I'm gonna...
sitting on a pew?
Huh?
Or a bench or whatever?
Yeah, he's still sitting in the pews.
Alright. I'm gonna go take him back to the keep, guys.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna walk up and help him walk out of there.
Sure.
I'll help, and then I'll just go up to my room.
Okay. When you get to him, he's still quite disoriented, but he does clearly recognize you. He's still having trouble speaking, like he's kind of mumbling a little bit. I will point out that it's a different one than that dwarf that you brought with you. The dwarf, Nazim had recognized specifically why he speaks in a mumbled way, but your father seems starting to come back to his senses a little bit. Apart from the scars, obviously, and fresh wounds of recent torture, he does seem to be all intact and mentally there. He's just going to take a little while to kind of snap out of it, probably.
All right.
Checking those pittons out.
Nice.
I don't know if you intended to do that. You clicked them a few times.
It's funny. I wasn't on the chat, and I was like, "The fuck is Jeremy talking about?"
I just clicked back to it because I was prepping some stuff, and I just clicked back to it and saw that there was a few pittons there. It doesn't hurt anything, so I'll go right ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably going to head back to my quarters And
Okay.
I assume I have a lockbox or some type of a chest in my quarters. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, definitely fair. That the room, so the crow fort that they were or the kettle keep rather that they were given, came like pre-furnished, and all of the rooms were for the, either, what's the word I'm looking for, like visiting dignitaries and diplomats and things like that. So they're pretty well, it's a nicely furnished place with that kind of accoutrements already built in. So yeah, you would have a separate lockbox for each room. Yeah, but I mean, well, let's say a lavish one, or at least a well furnished one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm probably going to end up taking some things out of my inventory and putting them in the box to lighten the weight. But I'm not sure logistically how to do this to remove it from my inventory but still retain it.
I don't have separate lockboxes set up for each of you, but that is something I can throw together real quick. So give me just a second, and I'll do that for you, Sako.
Okay. I just want to lighten my load because I'm already on my third weight box.
Oh, as far as the sections go. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just realized that you guys don't have. Yeah, okay. The screen's black because I didn't set it to no view. 1 second, guys.
I just realized that there were some things in here that I already used that I gotta get rid of, like my movable rod and stuff.
Right, I picked that up because I think he used it on the door.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody used it on the door, and then Arteme grabbed it.
Yeah.
Well, I used mine all the way on the outside door.
Yeah, you used it on the. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
That's right. Yes, you did. Okay.
Forever.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. And that one is gone because you guys did not go back to get that one.
Which one?
I'm wondering if
I put. You remember where Norak put like a bunch of furniture up against the door to like
I
fix
that
the
one
broken
up.
door?
No.
I went in and then I put one there. There wasn't one there.
Yeah.
It was like when I caught back up to you guys.
Yeah. Sako, there were two. You guys used them just in that place alone. You used them 3 times.
Yeah.
2 of them you retrieved them from. The last one was one that Sako Justin, way up top, like above. This was before they even went down into the before he went down the ladder down into the place. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That one I wouldn't have known to get it.
No.
Yeah, the teleport one. The doors that were being held shut, that was from my movable rod, and I think you grabbed it on the way out as we got out of there.
Yeah, I would have grabbed those because those are hard to find and very useful.
Yeah, but you guys still have 2 or 1 and 1 broken one, right?
Yeah, I still have a broken one I need to fix.
Okay. All right, Sako, I'm giving you ownership of
my inventory.
Yeah, the one that you grabbed because you grabbed the one at the very end, right? Somebody grabbed the one at the end when you guys were teleporting
I did.
out. Okay.
Yeah, that one was
because
mine.
I was being shot at. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then Arteme, you'll give that one back to Nazim.
Yeah, because I stopped to fix the broken one because nobody else wanted it, so I grabbed it. I think I'll tinker with that one.
Sure.
Try and get it to work.
All right, I think I figured out why my bag is so fucking heavy. I've got 10 pythons, and they weigh 2.5 pounds apiece. Would anyone like some pythons?
Funny timing that's when you decided to look at it.
Well, it made me want to look through my inventory.
Yeah, of course,
and I never checked this, but like when it says weight, it's just the weight of one. It doesn't calculate all of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
So like since I have 10, it's actually 25 pounds, not 2.5. Because I was like, how am I already at max fucking weight?
Yeah.
You could always shove them in the bag of holding, I guess.
The bag does have a weight limit too, though. So
yeah, the bag.
I mean, you may. I would say as a group, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to have some still in the bag, but you don't necessarily all need to carry them individually.
Would anyone like a few pythons?
I still have 8, so I'm good. But
you all have a bunch of them. No wonder all your inventories are all full.
Do you want me to delete the illithid cylinder off of my thing? Because I gave it to Ozzy.
Yes. In that case, go ahead and delete it. Yes. Sako, I gave you. You'll see Sako's lockbox rather. I'll make one for all of you, and we'll just say that this is the stuff that you've left in, presuming that this is where you're going to leave it. If you're going to leave it somewhere else, you need to tell me. But if you're going to leave it in the lockbox at your in your room at the Kettle Keep, then you can use these, and I'll just make one for each of you guys real quick. And that way you kind of have
that box.
If you just double. So do you see it in the character panel? So the top right where you go to find your character sheet.
Oh, lock boxes. I see it.
Yep. And then all you need to do is just have both your character sheet and this one open at the same time. Salco, for a second here, you're going to have access to the other ones while I duplicate them. Just leave. There won't be anything in them, but don't bother trying to tinker with any of the others. Make sure that you're dragging it into the Socko's lock. I put Socko instead of Deceiv's lockbox. Anyway, I'll fix that.
Just drag over all the pythons. And
Yeah, exactly. Drag over the stuff into the other one that you're not going to use.
Okay. I just do like half the pythons.
Drag it over, and it'll probably duplicate it. There would be 10 in each, let's say, and then just change the quantity for both.
Oh, there you go.
That'd be the easiest way. Ben, I just made yours.
That quantity. There you go. Perfect.
Oh, I do have
Nazima,
healing word.
I fixed the name for yours too. Yeah, you have healing word.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast healing word on myself a few times. Since I
Okay.
still have.
Yeah, you have one hit point. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you too that you don't feel great. You have it two levels of exhaustion, and it's going to take you a few days probably before you feel like up to, your normal self. Let's say, from actually being dead. I figured that 1 from going unconscious, 2 is still fair just from being dead. Probably should be much worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was only 15 minutes, and you were resurrected in a safe place where you can go rest and so on. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit there for a little bit, kind of watch the room, and probably once people start leaving, I'm gonna get up, and I'm gonna be pretty quiet. I'm gonna head for Kettle Keep and straight to my room. I think.
Sure.
Just at least for the rest of the day. I think Pogo's gonna
Real
be out
quick,
of it for
you know
a
what?
minute.
While I'm making these before too much time passes here, Sarah and Arteme, as you are walking Theodore back towards the Kettle Keep, he is kind of starting to kind of come to his senses. He's not leaning on you quite so much. He's able to actually walk. He's just kind of still got his arm. He's clearly getting some comfort from his daughter being back with him. But you do have to pass coming from the nave, the little kind of small temple inside the Crow Fort. You do pass the war room. The door is open. You see Pepperjack inside, and he kind of looks up and smiles and sees that you're obviously busy. And then he kind of gives a dismissive gesture. Just if you would come back sometime this evening, if you've got a few minutes.
Yeah, just I gotta take him to the keep and.
No hurry. I'll be here. Fox, I made yours. I made Arteme, or you'll see Arteme's lockbox in there.
Okay.
Let me make one for Pogo and one for Sarah.
Where are these at?
If you go to the characters page, you'll see a section under player characters for lockboxes. And I just made yours. Give me a second to give you permission to it real quick here. And you guys can take a minute to go ahead and, adjust your inventory as needed here. Becky has ownership. Ben, you can carry like almost an unlimited amount, so it probably doesn't matter as much for you. I probably should have done yours last, just because it isn't as big of an impact for you as it is.
And
for
he
everyone
doesn't
else.
wear armor, so he has like nothing heavy really.
Yeah.
He's got to carry around a loincloth and like a backup loincloth. Man, you don't even have hair. You don't even have to carry around a comb.
Cloth extension.
Yeah.
And
God, a
there
barbarian
is
in real
Pogo.
life would be absolutely just the most uncomfortable fucking person to hang out with.
Well, he's a special kind of barbarian too. I mean, he is class-wise, he's just.
Does
a
he wear
barbarian, but-
pants, or does he still just?
I mean, in all of the imagery that he chose, yes, he still wears pants.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
All
It's
right,
not.
good.
It's not the Hero Quest style barbarian. If that's what you mean.
All
Like we
right,
were
yeah.
playing. We did play that last night, guys. By the way, it was surprisingly fun. It was actually. It worked out. It worked out smoother than I thought it would. I figured there would be things that didn't work, but it actually worked just fine. It was functional as is, and it was still fun.
Whoops,
That's good.
All right, all of you guys have your individual lockboxes there. You guys are the only ones that have visibility to it, so you can put your own things in there, whatever you want.
Hammer do.
It hammers.
It's literally a hammer.
It's literally a hammer.
But if we
it's
needed to
literally a hammer.
fix something randomly, we might need a hammer, unless we have mending or.
Well,
a bigger
I would say more than that.
drill.
That in the event that you do need to use a piton,
Yeah. Oh, you got.
I mean, unless you're going to have Norak try to punch them into a wall, like that's you might need a hammer for that. Otherwise,
Are we planning on going? You know what? Never mind. I'm asleep in my. I'm laying down.
All right, you can deal with your inventory in the morning.
Yep.
All right. It was. Let me grab the time. It was 7:30, I think, because of the time zones when you teleported back. Yeah, 7:30 p.m. So it's around 7:30 p.m. at this point. So it's not super late, but it is late enough into the evening that you can, do whatever evening plans you may have, and then plan for your rest or whatever. So what are you guys doing?
I am going to get my dad some food, get a bath started for him, and then when he's done bathing, I'm gonna treat his wounds.
Okay. Yeah, the wounds aren't still bleeding. They don't look infected or anything like that. They literally look like recent torture. Nails that have been pulled off, things like that. His hands are still a little bit crushed, but he's not in. It's more of a mental problem, I'd say, than a physical one at this point. He's not physically still in too much pain. Now that you guys have already healed him a little bit. But anyways, you easily find food. Abraham is still in the mess hall anyways. He wasn't preparing anything when you arrived. He wasn't really expecting you all. But he does kind of get up and begin to prepare some meal for the evening. But there's plenty of meats and cheeses and things like that you can get him food.
Okay.
What's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna go check on the leathers I'd left and then probably take a nap since we hadn't slept to catch up to Sarah.
Okay. Yeah. As far as exhaustion goes, Arteme was exhausted. Pogo, did you? No, Nazim had one. Yeah. And I think
I was
Norok had 2
perfectly
levels.
fine until I got killed.
Yeah, Nazim actually had 2 levels. Yeah, Nazim had 2 levels of exhaustion because he didn't sleep and then got knocked unconscious also. So he's also going to need a couple days to recover, potentially. But anyways, your rooms are plenty warm. Abraham does keep, even with the blizzard going, he does keep the hearth going in the keep, the kettle keep rather, which does heat the water, which goes through the walls and keeps the place warm and so on. So despite the blizzard outside, it's still nice and toasty. Those of you that are going to sleep early are able to find rest quite quickly. Nazim and Pogo both going to sleep then?
I'd like to look and see if there's anywhere I could just pick up a few healing potions and some just comfort amenities just to kind of have a nice rest tonight.
As far as the stocks of supplies, this is a military encampment. It's not a town. There aren't stores here. In the regular sense, let's say there's a quartermaster who can get you materials, but healing potions are in short supply, obviously, because this is an active siege still. Sako, you joined after all this stuff had already happened, but just as a reminder, there is a siege army of undead that surround this place. It's an army of the Vabians, the place that you come from, that are surrounding where they're at right now. So that nobody can leave unless it's teleporting in and out and so on. So anyways, as far as materials, though, amenities are probably retrievable. It really depends what you're looking for. As far as healing potions, you guys did just buy a shit ton of them from that merchant outside of Eiffelstead anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys, share those around. No, they're in the bag of holding, I think. Each of you took a couple, and then there's a bunch in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Well, I need to grab some of those from the bag of holding then. How do I get to the bag of holding or look into that?
It is, if you go to player character stuff.
Character stuff. Gotcha.
See the bag of holding there? Yep. Right now...
There's 11 potions of healing.
Yeah, so there's different kinds here, and you don't, they're very expensive, you don't want to waste them. So there's 11 of those left, 5 greater and 5 superior, and then there's still 6 more of the spoiled ones, which did save your life. So as much as you may vomit for the next turn, they are still useful. They're also, as far as stats-wise, I think they were superior. They're 8d4 plus 4. So they are, they're the equivalent of the superior, which is huge. They just might make you sick for a round.
Gotcha. Is there a way I can just take maybe 2 of those basic potions of healing?
So drag it over to your inventory, and then adjust the quantity if needed, and then I can change the quantity on this one if it doesn't remove it. It's at 11 now, so.
Quick heads up, Jeremy, just for everyone else, we can change this too, I think. But if you drag an item from your inventory into the lockbox, it does not bring over the number, so it just shows 1 under loot.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think Foundry handles quantities very well. So just make sure that you double check the quantity before and after on both sides. You know that you just make sure that it's reflected correctly, so that you're not duplicating gear.
I took 2, so that potion of healing in the bag of holding should now say 9.
Okay. Here, I'll edit it for you.
You can actually change the challenge rating. We have apparently the ability to do that. I'm using the challenge rating as the inventory amount.
No, use the quantity for the right amount. That's what it's there for.
There's no
Yeah,
quantity.
Yes, there is. You hit
quantity,
the
yeah.
edit item to the right of it, and then in the box there's quantity, weight, and price.
Anyone
left.
have a
So just
edit item button?
No.
I don't have an edit item button.
I'm just making a list of
just
how
a heads
much
up,
of what I
when
have in
you
there.
do edit that, you can't edit it again. Like I hit the edit button, change the quantity down to 2 for the potion of healing in my inventory, and if I hit the edit button again, it doesn't allow you to edit anything. It doesn't even show up.
Also, there is no edit button under the lockbox. So the
Oh,
inventory has
okay,
an edit
okay,
button, but
I
the
see.
lockbox
Okay, it does in your inventory, just not in the lockbox. Okay, that's
So
because it's
in
an
the
NPC record then.
lockbox, yeah, in the lockbox though, you can change the challenge rating. So if you just change the challenge rating to whatever the number is, then boom, you're good to go.
That's fine for now. It's because it's listed as an NPC record. It's not really.
Yeah.
It's a different kind. I'll get you
That's
a
not
better
bad, though. It's
better
easy to remember.
solution later on. Yeah, but for now, yeah, you can go ahead and do that then. Sako, if you refresh and then try it, so hit F5 and then or refresh from your browser and then try it again. See if it lets you there.
All right, we'll check it again here.
I edited the one in the bag of holding, so that's current now.
Ah, yes. It's because I had the pop out. You have to kill the pop out and then relaunch the pop out.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That works. So I have 2 of those. So we just need to adjust the bag of holding down.
I already
to
did.
9.
Yep, I did.
Now there's
Then
8.
I'm just going to prepare
Let's do
for a
it.
nice
Okay.
long rest.
All right. Then I'll go ahead and I'll edit it again to Becky
Oh,
grabbing one.
I got it.
Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, you know what? I bet I set that one. Yeah, because I set that one as a loot record. Maybe I'll just do that for you guys too. I'll just make that your guys' lockboxes have the same kind of page as the bag of holding does. That would make sense. All right.
That would definitely work.
Yeah, I think that'd probably work better for you guys. Anyways, that'll be more familiar for you all too. All right, then. So Nazim is settling in for some rest. Sarah is checking on her father and getting food and everything. Arteme, you go up to the tower up above your room. The leathers that are out there definitely have a layer of frost on them, but there's enough warmth coming through the keep that it has kept them from freezing altogether. If anything, the kind of not arid. What's the word I'm looking for? The freezing temperature has kind of helped a little bit in their drying out. It's not moisture in the air. It's artificial. It's not condensed water like snow actually is. So it's still dry enough out there that it seems to be they're well on their way. You probably need another day, maybe 2 days before they'll be ready to be usable.
Okay, so I'll just leave them be. Maybe move them a bit closer to the fire and the fireplace, and then go.
Okay. All right. What's Nark up to?
I'm gonna get some food and then go to the long rest.
Okay. All right. So Norok, Arteme, Nazim, Pogo all going for a rest. Becky.
Yeah, Pogo's. I don't know if he's necessarily going to sleep. He's going to kind of be in his room, and Pogo is gonna sit on his bed alone in the room for a minute, and he's gonna look at all the things that he has, and he's going to make a decision. He's gonna put his banjo in his room, and he's gonna take it out of his inventory. So Pogo is leaving his banjo. After this experience.
This is that's how traumatized Pogo is. He's leaving his banjo behind.
Yeah.
Is he
It's a
keeping
big
like
moment.
his flute or his drums or any other
No,
instrument?
I think I left them all there forever ago because whoever was like, "Hey, if you're a halfling bard, it's great," and they're like, "You can have 3 instruments." And I was like, "I can only hold a fucking."
Yeah, really. You're 40 pounds.
Anyways.
I mean, these instruments aren't tiny.
Yeah, so no, that's my only instrument that I carry, and I'm just leaving it in the room.
Okay. So mechanically, as far as the spell is concerned, your spiritual banjo is a separate thing, anyways. So that'll still, you don't
But I'm
actually need
I'm not going to carry it around anymore.
the physical one. Okay.
It's a
Pogo's changing and evolving as a person.
It's a brutal curse, Pogo. You can only have some spoons, a triangle, and a piccolo.
Yeah. From now on, you're a
actually-
busker. You're like a subway
Yeah.
busker.
I'm going to play one of those bottles with the 3 X's on it, the big glass bottle.
Warm today. Warm yesterday.
Oh yes.
I'm going to put my dad in a room and then go talk to Pepperjack.
Okay.
See what he wanted.
All right.
It's funny, we're all doing inventory stuff, so I half expected her to be like, I'm going to put my dad in like a box,
Hey, what?
put him in the bag of holding.
He doesn't need. He is a halfling after all. He doesn't need too much space. All right, Sarah, you trudge your way out through into the snow, through the courtyard, out into the the main courtyard from the Kettle Keep, and out to the Crow Fort. It's still light out, but only barely. You guys are getting pretty late in the fall at this point, or at post summer, anyways. The sun's starting to set a little bit earlier, and so on. You make your way over to the war room. Door is still open. You step inside. Go ahead and make an insight check. Okay. It's instantly visible to you that Pepperjack is anxious. Like something is clearly concerning him. He seems a little bit more not jumpy, twitchy, I guess, than usual. The rest of you, well, here's the thing, guys. So let me point this out too. Okay, you guys, normally you wouldn't apply the long rest. You wouldn't get the benefits of the long rest until the morning, right?
Yeah.
So it's fine that you guys have clicked it, but generally what you would want to do is you'd want to wait until I tell you guys that it's morning, specifically because if something were to attack in the middle of the night, or if you guys are out camping and you get attacked in the middle of the night, you wouldn't have the long rest until morning comes. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Well, technically, I'd have it midway through.
Yeah, you'd have
4 hours, but for them, they won't.
Hang on. You get the benefits. You still have to take the full hours. You just get to transfer 4 hours. It still takes the full 8.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So you would still have to be the full 8 hours for you, but you would be in conscious shape during that time. Let's say. But anyways, don't worry about it. Nobody's attacking at the moment, so you're fine. I'm just pointing that out for Sitsako's, recently back here. Anyways, he's clearly anxious, and he gives you kind of a cracked smile, little kind of half-hearted smile when you step in. It's good to see you. I'm glad that you've returned safely, and I was filled in on what happened with Pogo. So, I mean, all things considered, it was a decent endeavor, I hope.
Yep. Didn't exactly go as planned, but accomplished what I needed to.
Yeah, these days nothing does.
Yeah.
So what I called you for, this isn't necessarily the entire group, but maybe you can fill them in or come back in the morning or so or whatever. But there's increasing hostilities day by day with the Vabians. Our ranging partings have started being attacked again. The diplomatic talks that we've been having with them just fall within minutes for bullshit reasons. They refuse to speak for any amount of time without making it clear. They believe, at least, and this is errantly so, of course, that we do have possession of the scales of sex somewhere, and of course we don't. So as soon as we start to go down that road to how can we extricate ourselves from this situation without having those scales, they turn hostile and the talks fail. So the situation is continuing to de-escalate, or escalate, I guess, in that sense, but devolve rather. And then the strange circumstances of today that 2 of my MIA lieutenants both return under mysterious or suspicious circumstances, let's say, within a few hours of each other. Things are certainly moving up here. We still won't have an actual ranging time ready until Maibi is healed, which will probably be at least another month from what I've been told, 3 to 4 weeks. So we still have some time here, but I kind of wanted to check in with all of you to get a sense of when you think you might be prepared to go do that, if you're still willing to do so.
I mean, I know Norak still has to go bury Obo. It's Obo, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I actually remembered it. I know he still has to go bury Obo, but we can all come here in the morning. You said 2 of your missing lieutenants?
There is a very cautious smile that crosses his features. He says, Clover returned about an hour before you all came back.
She okay?
Yet to be seen. She's acting a little strange.
And I want to do an insight check. I want to see if he's worried, because maybe she's not healthy, or worried because maybe like she's insane or could have like turned?
Sure. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Yeah.
Where is his... Oh, damn it. It doesn't have the proper record. Hang on, let me fix this. Is it shift? There we go. Hard to tell. He does... I mean, you can see the result, of course, but he does seem concerned. You can read that there's definitely concern on his features. As for why, you can't tell.
Okay. Well, if you would like us to talk to her, you know, we're always willing to talk to her. We love her. She's great.
I'm sure she'll find you before long anyways. She was looking around the Kettle Keep earlier, looking for you all, and came back looking unhappy. So it hasn't been long, but I'm sure she'll come and find you when she's ready. Although it's late evening, so maybe it'll be, you know, I don't know, she might be at the crow's nest or something, or going to sleep, I don't know. She doesn't have official orders until tomorrow, so.
Okay. Well, if you see her before she finds us, just let her know we're back. And I guess I'll get the rest of the group here in the morning.
Certainly.
Figure out what the next plan is.
Yeah, I mean, as far as really what I was just looking for is a kind of an estimate of if you think you will be prepared to head out in about a month or so when Maibi is ready. Because it is, I mean, not only is it a dangerous mission, but it'll probably be a while. It likely will take some time, you know, behind enemy lines while you're, let's say, doing careful wet work.
Okay, and we figured what? It would take about a month to get up to where Norok needs to go, or a couple weeks?
No. Okay. Depending on, let's say, I forgot to point this out earlier in the game, sorry. At the rate that you could have traveled at that time, it probably would have taken you about a week or so, you know, week to 10 days or so, if you were leaving from Eifelstead. But... Fox, when you have a second there, if you look through your spells, the new spells that you got, I meant to mention this early on, the fucking druid spells at level 11 are insane. You got a couple of them in there are super powerful, in particular for this kind of stuff as well. But you got pass via plants or something like that, which is teleporting through trees, which you kind of had as a ritual before, but now you can do it, you know, easily with trees that you know. And you got one called Wind Walk.
Right, yes. So I have a few.
Yeah, Windwalk. You also have Druid Grove and a bunch of other cool shit. But Windwalk in particular, if you need to go fast, it's literally 320 miles in a day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it turns everybody into wind, and then everybody can run for 8 hours. Actually, it's not even a day. It's 320 miles in 8 hours. You will be tired at the end of it, or you can go 240 miles and be less tired, or 160 and be fine.
Okay, nice. Yeah. That's great, though.
Yeah, so there's some good spells in there for you, too. Also, you can prepare 15 spells at a time now, plus your woodland spells, so remember that, too.
Oh, that means I get to choose another spell.
Yep.
Well, then in that case, I'm just going to tell Pepperjack that, yes, we will probably be ready by then, if not sooner.
Okay. That's good to hear. That'll help us kind of plan for, hopefully, an end to all these wasted hostilities here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm sure I'll see you soon anyways. Enjoy your evening. Get some rest. Well deserved.
I will see you in 8 hours, give or take.
All right.
No, head off to bed.
All right. Go ahead, and if you haven't already, guys, go ahead, Becky.
And I am not looking at the scroll.
Okay.
Just so you're aware.
Okay. Everybody go ahead and apply your long rests if you haven't already. So you get all your stats back. Justin, was Pogo doing anything else, or just putting his stuff away and then going to his rest?
He would have put his stuff away. He probably would have stayed in the room until the morning and then just quietly gone and, maybe gotten coffee or some hot beverage from the kitchen.
Okay. All right.
Hot chocolate.
Okay. All right. Well, morning comes then. Everybody rested. Some of the rigors of the past couple of days worn away, thankfully. That's first rest that Arteme and Nazim have gotten for, well, and actually all of you except for Sarah. By the way, I don't think...
Nope, none of them know.
Okay, all right, never mind. I won't say anything. Unless Sarah tells them. I will tell you they look a little more tired.
Yep, that's why she's not saying anything. She feels bad enough.
Okay. Yeah, the at least recuperated some of the exhaustion that you've been feeling recently. I'll apply the others as needed here, but as far as recovering the levels. But morning comes, though, otherwise you are free for do what you will with the day.
I'm gonna go check on my dad.
Okay.
Did Sarah tell us we had to go see Pepperjack?
Not yet, because you guys were all asleep by the time I got back, so. But first thing when she wakes up, she's checking on her dad.
Okay.
So she hasn't made it downstairs.
He is snoring loudly. When you come in the room, he kind of shakes his head a little bit, and he kind of ruffles the bed that is much too large for him, and kind of rolls over, and he kind of opens his eyes a little bit, looks at you. It's good to see you. Where are we? What happened?
Well, we're a long way from home. This is a keep. Where exactly are we? We're on the border, right?
Yeah, you're in the borderlands between Vabi and the Empire.
Yeah, so we're kind of on the border right there.
You're as far, I mean, travel wise, you're probably a week east of where you're home.
Right, yeah, I'll let him know exactly where we are.
How did we get here? And whose bed is this? It smells.
We might be able to get you a new bed. For now, it's yours.
I mean, it's fine. It's just I could probably fit 8 of me in here. That's all.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of halflings around here. So it's really cold outside. I don't recommend ever going outside the walls. We're kind of in a siege at the moment.
out of the frying pan and into the fire, huh?
Pretty much, but this is at least a little bit safer than where you were.
Hey, yeah, my hands aren't clamped in a torture device, at least. I mean, we are like allowed to be here, right? We're not, I don't need to be hiding.
The keep was actually gifted to my friends and I.
Gifted to your friend? You got a keep?
Yeah, it's a long
Sarah, what have you been up to? You've only been gone for 3 months and you have a keep? Are you a lord now?
Nope, I was almost a slave though, so there's that.
Oh, some adventures you must have had.
Yeah.
Well, sit down. Sit down. Tell me about them.
Okay. Why don't we go down and have breakfast with my friends, and we can all tell you about it.
He kind of squints a little bit.
You're really gonna like them.
His eyes are kind of just slitted for a moment. There was a Yogg amongst them. He's not one of your friends, right?
He's great. He carries everything, kills everything. He's a super sweet guy. Don't worry about it.
You just make sure you keep him well fed, if right. You just make sure that he's not hungry, and then you're okay. Does it become scary if he's not eating a full lamb per day?
He gets scary when people try to hurt the little people, so we're safe.
Oh, that's a unique kind of Yogg.
I know, right?
How about and he holds his hand over his face and he kind of pulls his features down a little bit, like pulls his eyes, pulls his mouth down. How about that guy? He looked real interesting.
He is a very interesting character. Don't know a whole lot about him. He's somewhat of a recent addition to our group. But he's
safe. He's not going to hurt you or anything.
No, he's fine. Everyone here in this keep and inside the walls of this place are all good people.
How about the real pretty elf lady I saw?
I figured you'd like her.
Is she, and he kind of taps his ring finger.
You're going to have to ask her about that.
I'll see. Does she like, a particular kind of flower or anything?
Well, she does love nature, but I will tell you, she has not had the best of luck with halfling men. So, she gets pestered by one quite often.
Oh, is that the And his features kind of turn a little dark. Like, I saw him get up, right? I wasn't just hallucinating. Like, he's okay now.
Yeah, no, he's back. He's good.
No, I'm glad to hear that. At least if our folk are the sturdiest of the bunch, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
All right, where's this
Go get
breakfast?
I'll take him downstairs.
All right. If everybody's collecting there, is everybody going to get breakfast?
Yeah.
Norak said he was. Okay.
Right.
And Arteme is making some hot chocolate?
Yeah, well, in the keep, I'm making some hot chocolate.
Yep. Okay.
And
What'd you say, Becky?
eating, I guess.
Oh, I'm just going to introduce him to everyone so he actually has their names
Okay.
instead of just Yogg and Priya.
Nazim, are you joining the group?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then everybody is gathered in the mess hall. I guess I can put the map up. I keep meaning to put walls, so it's actually like a functional map for you guys in here for the Kettle Keep. I don't know how many fights you guys intend on getting inside the place, but I hadn't done it for that reason. But I keep meaning to just for functional sake. But let me go ahead and toggle navigation for you. There you go. Which you guys are pretty much in the same places, anyways, thereabouts.
So when you come in, Pogo's going to also stand up when he sees you two come in.
Oh, where's his token? All right, Sarah, you walk in with Theodore then, and Pogo stands in kind of facing you.
You okay there, Pogo?
No, I wanted to, let him know that you have a daughter that loves you very much. And she seems willing to do pretty much anything for you. You should be very lucky as your father.
He gives you a wide smile, kind of a one-sided smile. It kind of looks in your direction, gives you a curt nod, and looks at Sarah and then winks at her. Sarah, you recognize his emotions. Like he's tearing up a little bit. It seems like.
Yeah, I'll just give him a hug. It's okay. I know you'd do anything for me too, so we're good.
I didn't think I was not only going to get out of there. I didn't think I would see you again. I didn't even know where you would even be.
Yeah, I haven't been back on this side of the border for very long.
I've been avoiding asking, and he says this kind of quietly, but did you see your mother?
Yeah, stopped by the house. It was interesting.
She's not doing too well, I assume.
Gonna groan a little bit as he sits back down.
Oh, in pain. Okay. Okay. Just from the pain or from her mother?
Both.
Okay.
It's gonna be like a.
Because Pogo did have some interaction with her mother as well.
It's gonna be like to the mother, but I'm gonna play it off like it's from pain.
I see. He doesn't seem to notice. He seems to be, kind of focused on reading Sarah about having seen her mother because she. It's clear that he's not as concerned about her whereabouts as he is about you having seen her and that's effect on you.
Yeah. She cleaned out your study. There was nothing left except for one book, which wasn't yours.
Wait, cleaned it out as in my books are gone?
As in there was nothing in that office except for one book, and it was hers. It was definitely not yours.
I don't understand. She was doing okay. She always had these beliefs that I never took a ken to, but she insisted that it was her right to believe as she will, and that it was all fair. I couldn't hold that against her, but something just happened. Something snapped in her a few months ago, and she's just been. I don't know. I'm hoping that she'll snap out of it one day. I just don't know what to do about it.
I don't know, but I don't want to have to tell you this, but I wouldn't recommend going home or contacting Mom. At least not for a good while.
I mean, I hadn't really planned on it in the short term, let's say, but why not? Why do you say such a thing?
I'm just going to hand him the papers.
Okay. And you remember what they say, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks over them, and at first he seems incredulous. He's kind of reading over the first couple of paragraphs. I don't know what I'm looking at. And then he gets to the paragraph, and you see like a kind of a frown start to cross his features. I see.
Yeah. If you get in touch with Mom, they will probably come find you. And I don't want to have to go back in there to get you again, because that did not end well this last time.
He's still looking down at the paper. His eyes don't meet yours. He just kind of sits down, not facing the table. He's facing on the bench away, into the towards the fire, let's say, and just kind of looking over the papers, and then just slowly rolls them up and keeps his head down.
I'm sorry.
He just
I'm
nods.
gonna sit down with him and drink some of Artemis' hot cocoa.
Okay.
Well, at least it's not the end of the world yet, am I right? We probably have maybe at least a few more days, I'm sure.
The end of the world was only 9 months ago, and
That was
all
a
of this
joke.
still.
Oh, everything hurts.
Actually, speaking of ending things, Pepperjack would like to talk to us at some point this morning about our plans for the next, a month or so.
He's not going to yell at us, is he? Did we do something
No.
wrong? Is he pissed?
No, we're good. I don't think he's mad. Clover's
I felt like
back.
everything went off the rails the last day or so. It was
Yeah.
maybe we all need to have a chat as well. One of these when we have a few minutes.
Yeah. Can I run an insight check on Pogo just to get kind of a feel of if he's okay mentally?
Oh, I'll tell you, he's not.
Okay, that's
I'll tell
fair.
you.
All right.
I'm trying to act the part. He's not doing great. He's not feeling. He feels weird. A lot of things have happened the last day. He's a little off. So.
In that case, then, Justin, is Pogo intentionally displaying that he's not okay? He's not necessarily seeking attention, but he's playing this up on purpose, right?
No, he's not playing it up on purpose. He's not doing a character. He's not feeling great. So
Pogo, okay, just not
yeah.
trying to hide it at all.
Nope, he's
Okay.
not. He's not his usual self. He's
Okay.
it's the day after. He's got some stuff going on.
Okay.
Well, yeah, when you die and come back, you're discombobulated for a little while.
Yeah, I feel if something's it's just weird. I don't feel great. I'll get back to myself, I'm sure.
Okay, well, if you ever need to talk, you have got a group of friends that are always willing to listen.
Where?
Oh, damn.
The shoulder.
Yeah, I get it. Just kidding. Oh boy. He's not mad though, right? We can go. Should we go talk to him? Is anything else?
Yeah, we should probably go talk to him after breakfast, probably. Maybe.
Yeah, after breakfast.
By the
Fill
way,
my dad in on some happy stories of things that have happened lately. Try to change the mood a little bit, at least some.
By the way, what?
I was just gonna say, if anyone needs, I've got a diplomat's pack with a bunch of cool things in it, but it's too heavy. It's 10 pounds for some reason. It comes with a giant chest. I don't know.
I'll pick it up.
If you want it, here. Do you want this?
Anytime you have a pack like that,
pounds.
yeah. Anytime you have a pack like that, the individual items are have individual weights. You can take you don't have to give the whole pack. You can just put the chest away if you wanted to. You
Can I do
bought
that
a diplomat's
in the
pack? Yeah. Where is it? I'm not seeing it. Did you put it in your lockbox already?
Here, it's in my inventory again.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, so the individual items, you wouldn't normally add the pack. I just did that because you bought a pack from the guy. I didn't add the individual things. I probably should have just done it that way. But I'll break it down for you if you want to, put certain parts of it away. So what are you giving to Artemis to put in the bag?
Well, basically everything except for for right now, just everything.
Okay.
Pogo's changed a little bit. He's not worried about that right now.
Wow, not too interested in material goods anymore after literally
the
almost getting
part.
himself, but almost trying to get himself killed, trying to steal shit from his ship.
Yep.
All right, I'll move it into the bag.
All right. Okay, cool.
I guess having experienced death, he doesn't want to die from material things anymore.
I just don't feel like, it seems like having a few bits of wax and writing a letter or trying to forge something, it doesn't seem like the time is really, it doesn't seem like it's things I need. I feel like I need to start focusing on that more when we're out. if no one wants it, I'm just saying. It's up in my
I
room.
moved it into the bag of holding, so Artemis said she would take it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I just put it in the bag. One thing I meant to point out real quick too, Sako, this was in the primer and I forgot to go over the primer stuff. It was just the level up stuff and then this thing too. You didn't technically have the Staff of Retribution attuned, and you used Force Cage.
That was one of the ones that I had attuned.
At least on your sheet you didn't have it attuned. You had...
Because you did get it 2 days beforehand. Or
yeah, he had it physically. You had the glove, the coelacanth cloak, and the ring of healing surges, and you definitely used the ring. The coelacanth cloak is an AC boost, so technically you could have potentially taken more hits. The glove,
retcon, Pogo never died. we're still in the dungeon.
If anything, it would have been much worse for you guys probably, because at least that fight didn't drain your resources because Nazim had locked him in. So you have your Ulatharis glove, the coelacanth cloak, and the ring of healing surges attuned. So which one of those do you want to untune to have the staff instead?
Oh, I thought we had 4.
No, it's only 3.
Shoot. Okay. Let's kill the healing surges, I guess.
Okay.
How do I uncheck that?
If you click the edit item on the right. Oh, hang on. Never mind. You don't even need to do that. So back from the main sheet there, you see the little white sun to the right of Ring of Healing Surges?
Mm-hmm.
Click that, and it should turn red to turn it off.
It doesn't.
Oh, never mind. I guess I got to do it for you. No problem. I will switch them for you real quick. Attunement required. Not currently attuned, and we'll switch the staff in for you. Now, you did use the ring also during that time, but we'll just, you're fine. We'll just say that as far as at least now, anyways, you don't have the ring attuned, which means you can't use it, of course, unless you do reattune it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fixed for you. All right, so what are y'all doing? Any further, breakfasty stuff?
No, I'm just gonna tell him the whole story of when we were on the island while we're eating breakfast.
Okay.
That one's not too bad.
A giant ape? How big was he?
Huge. It was insane.
And he had 4 arms?
Yep.
Can you draw him? I kind of want to see that. I want to know what that looks like.
Artemis pretty good at drawing. I mean, she draws maps for us all the time. Would you mind drawing him a picture?
He gives you a very cheesy wide smile, Artemis.
Sure, why not?
All right, I kind of like him. I'm just gonna kind of watch this, and I'm just gonna whisper that to Norak and be like, I kind of like this guy. He seems a very interesting folk.
Yeah, he's got more game than you.
Oh yeah, it's readily available. I see that now. What are you yelling at me when I was dead? Did I dream that?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes,
all right.
Which, by the way, when that happened, Fox, I totally did not mean to steal your credit, because you actually succeeded. It was Norak that failed, and just in my mind, I assumed that it was Artemis that had rolled badly.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Right. Well, then I guess after breakfast, head to Pepperjack.
What do you want me to do? Should I just head back up to my room?
You are more than welcome to stay in the keep. I wouldn't recommend wandering around too much, at least until I let Pepperjack know that you're here.
How did you get your own keep? I don't understand. This is insane. I mean, I was a mayor, but I didn't own a castle.
That's gonna have to be a story for another time. That one's a bit longer.
All right. Well, you come back after you go talk to this cheese guy, and then let me know how you got this place.
Yeah. By the way, this is Abraham. He helps out around here. If you need anything, let him know.
Abraham is kind of shouts from the end of the room. Ben, what are you doing?
It was touching the blanket, so I just put it up on top of his head.
Okay. You got a blanket on top of your head? What is what?
I'm over here petting the dog. So he's going
Built a
Oh,
fort.
petting the dog. Yeah, he's in a blanket fort. He's building himself a kettle keep while he's the couch pillows and shit. Anyway, But you've made him acquainted with the area. He seems comfortable enough that he will be okay here.
Right. I tell him where my room is and that I think I still have a couple books in there that he can read if he decides to. They're kind of boring, but I mean.
Which books did you leave? Did you leave the books that Goran Xantalis gave you?
No, those are still in my backpack. The ones that I had taken from the library.
Okay. All right.
A long time ago. I don't remember what they were.
No problem. All right. Then you guys making your way over to see Pepperjack?
Yeah.
All right.
On our way out of here to go see Pepperjack, are there any chickens in cages or any kind of little animals in the keep or no? Smaller, preferably?
In the mess hall, you expect there would be, small, probably chickens, that they are, because they're bringing food in. They're teleporting it in, which is why Ozzy doesn't have, he can't just teleport you back and forth all day. But basically they are, spending that effort to get food still in here so the siege is not, starving everybody. What's your...
Oh, that was all.
You just wanted to know if there's chickens in cages somewhere? Is he a member of PETA all of a sudden?
We're all going to Pepperjacks, right? We're all going the same... All right, I just want to take a note.
Okay. All right. And you make your way back to the into the what's the word I'm looking for? Into the Crow Fort and into the War Room. Pepperjack is still there. He's by. Let me make that clear to Sarah. It does not look like he's left the room. He seems like he's not slept. Still the same gear and everything that he had the day before. Doesn't look like he's really had much rest. Eyes are a little bit red. Well, good to see all of you. You look certainly a much deserved rest, of course, but you look rested, thankfully. Pogo, I understand you had quite the adventure.
Yeah, I suppose that's one word for it. I thought I had a plan. I didn't have a plan, and then luckily, at least I'm back here. For what it's worth, I hope I can help out going forward. Did put a damper on my spirits a bit.
That's only fair. Yeah. Your folk are well known for their slippery skin for getting out of situations like that, but we were quite concerned that you weren't going to make it back.
Known for, though, It's an interesting situation, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't happen again to any of us.
I sure hope not. Because you all, as nice as it is of you to make such sacrifices on our behalf, we don't want them to be deadly ones by any means. Did Sarah happen to fill you in on the situation, the state of things?
I'm assuming on the walkover I would have filled them in.
Okay.
So. Well,
I mean, there isn't much more to it than that. I was really looking for kind of an assessment, really, to make these future plans. Maibi is still in and out of consciousness, but she's intending to follow through with the same plans we had originally to go behind enemy lines and remove those that are responsible for these hostilities in the first place, and people with the clear hand of Wilo's luck on their shoulder, and he kind of looks at Pogo, would be a huge help to her, of course. So if we're able to count on you in 3 to 4 weeks' time, then we would be in a much better place than trying to send her with, some of my lieutenants, for example. Alone.
Understandable. So then we don't really have anything else to do for the next couple of weeks. We're a bit on a pause, just to be clear.
Well, it's my understanding that you had things to do, for your own responsibilities. So, by all means.
So, what do you guys say? Should we try to do that second time?
Yeah.
Get back out there, back on that horse.
Yep. I need to talk to Ozzy for a second. Do you know where he is?
Ozzy had to leave the keep. He's supposed to be back within a few hours. He had some business to attend to in his home. So if you do spot him, of course, go ahead and bring him here if you would, because I need to speak with him as well. But it'll at least be a few hours. In fact, actually, if you as soon as he does return, of course, as soon as he teleports back in, I've got guards on the door already. You may have seen them when you came in to have them bring him here. He's not in trouble. There's no problem there. I need to speak with him, of course. So if you just want to stop back by here in a few hours, he'll probably be here.
All right. Well, what do you guys want to do for a few hours?
Rest up some more.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a bit of a walk. I need to work my legs. Something just feels weird. I need to get back used to my. I know it was only 15 minutes, but I just need to walk around, get some of these ghosts out of my head. So I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna start walking around.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to also go find a chicken.
All right.
Kind of subtly, like I'm not beelining it straight to a chicken and like wrenching away. I'm gonna try to steal a chicken.
Okay, but you are trying to go by yourself, though. You're not trying to avoid the rest of the group.
By myself.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy yourself, Pogo. You've certainly earned a little time to yourself. And Pogo turns and leaves. How about the rest of you all?
So we
Any
all know
exciting
which one
plans
is
for the day? He did not say he's going to go get chicken.
No, I said I was going for a walk.
Yeah, he just said he's going for a walk. So
That was if I had to roll anything to steal a chicken. That was for Jeremy's knowledge.
I mean, no, it's not. You don't need to steal a chicken. You can literally just go into the mess hall and say, "Hey, can I take one?" And they're not going to say no.
Okay.
You guys are well-regarded guests.
Wait, why would you need a chicken?
We've yet to find out. Justin is a mystery.
I'm not gonna fuck it. By the way,
We might need to protect the chicken's honor.
do you guys know that when chickens have sex, they die? Or at least the one I had sex with did. So I don't know.
Oh my god.
That was a Justin joke, not a Pogo joke.
Yeah, that was definitely a Justin joke.
Wow.
Alright.
Actually, my dad is in the keep. He's gonna. Be
I thought
staying
that
with
may
us
have
a while.
been. Yeah, I'd heard that you had returned with a couple of strangers, and my guess was that was the one you'd returned with after your message. So, yeah, certainly. I mean, we'll make sure that he's well taken care of. He'll be safe here.
Thank you. On that note, I'm gonna go spend a little bit of time with my dad before Ozzy gets here. And then I'm gonna walk off, and as I'm leaving, she's just gonna like glance around to see if she sees Pogo, because he's acting really weird and she's not sure what to think of it, but she's going to go see her dad.
He would be, halfway to the door, like to
Remember,
the
I'm
gates
not
of the.
beelining it. I'm
Yeah.
like go.
Well, yeah, but you have to leave the Crow Fort. You have to leave the main keep of the Crow Fort first, out into the snow to get to the mess hall. So I mean, you have to walk outside first, basically, and he's halfway to the door. It's a pretty big keep.
She's just gonna keep an eye on what direction he heads as she goes back to the keep.
Okay. Well, when you get to the door, he turns right, and for you to go to the kettle keep, you'd have to turn left.
Alright. Well, I'm going to the kettle keep, so.
Okay. All right. You cross the courtyard. Pogo, you kind of keep, peeking around the corner. You see him turn around the corner of the Crow Fort and back towards where the crow's nest is, which is in the northwest. In fact, do I still have that map in here for you guys? But
Do I still have Noctua?
you can summon her at any time. She didn't automatically snap to her. You can snap your fingers and bring her to you, though.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and I'm just gonna have her, like, keep back a bit, but just keep an eye on Pogo, and if he does something, like, really weird, to come get me.
Okay. Pogo, make a perception check, and then Becky, make a stealth check for Noctua.
Oh god, I gotta find her character. Hang on.
Under player character stuff. You guys have so many fucking records in there. I should probably just make an individual folder for each of you. It'd be easier that way.
Is stuff.
All right.
Ooh,
Yep.
that's a one.
Pogo. There. So what's funny about this is that owls are silent when they fly. It's literally what they're evolved to do, is to fly silently. But this, you look up, Pogo, just happen to catch like a flash of something. You look up, and there is a kind of semi-translucent owl being pelted by this blizzard snow, flying awkwardly, kind of spins in place and almost collapses into the snow beside you, and then kind of stands up, shakes the fur off, or shakes the snow off.
Well, that was not very owl-like of you, was it? Doesn't understand me or anything, does it? It's just a normal owl that she controls.
It probably understands you. You get the impression it understands you. It gives you a little bit of a glare.
It's all right if you don't try to hover around me like some weirdo.
You see it. The way that owls
Shoot.
move their necks without moving their. Okay, so this is another interesting thing about owls too. Their eyes are evolved specifically to keep a focal point no matter what they're focusing on. That's why they move their head in a weird way. So they can move their head in all directions, up in circles and so on, without their eyes ever leaving, without moving at all. They don't. So when they move their head, their eyes don't move. If that makes sense.
They also sleep like when they're babies. They sleep with they're just
they sleep face
straight
down. Yeah, they look like they're dead. Yeah,
Yeah.
It is kind of funny looking. They're pretty cool creatures. But anyways, she kind of like rotates her head to the left and to the right. It does look like she's shaking her head no, but it's clearly just a bird thing. And it's not that she's shaking her head no. It's just a like a fuck you, like a not much of a response. Just a bird, not interested in your what you're asking her to do.
Well, it can do whatever. I'm still gonna go find myself a chicken, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of find a little side spot where there aren't any people, and I'm gonna keep an eye out now for an owl.
Inside or outside? Because you have to go inside the
outside. I was hoping I could do this outside.
Okay, all right. So you go into the crow's nest. It is very quiet in there. There's clearly there's people in there having breakfast, but it's just not much. There's just not the full staff, let's say, that had been here previously. A lot of the soldiers are gone. But anyways, you head into the back, into the mess. They easily, there's no buying for it or anything like that. They just give you a chicken that is surprisingly comfortable. Apparently, it doesn't seem to be scared. You're able to just kind of hold it under one arm, and when you walk out the back, you don't see the owl.
All right, I'm gonna go find a little kind of spot behind the building where it's quiet. No one around, and I'm going to put the chicken on the ground, and I'm going to... All right, well, let's see if that was just a dream. And I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on the chicken.
Okay.
Pew! Oh, that shouldn't be 3d8. We got to adjust that. Anyways. And see what happens.
The chicken staggers in place, kind of trying to walk forward and losing its balance, and then falls over on its side, dead.
All right. Well, that's going to make for some interesting experiences, I suppose. And then I'm going to... how many hit points did I do to it? 13. All right. So
it has 1, so...
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and kind of kick some dirt and snow on top of it and start walking back around and make my way back.
People could still eat it.
Nope.
Right. Just no evidence of your crime.
Random.
Right. You bury it under a bunch of snow. You can't really get to the dirt, and even if you could, the dirt would be frozen beneath it. But you kick snow over it.
Yeah. Real quick, is that the right amount? Because it's supposed to be 3d8 at a certain level. Does that take my overall level or just that level?
No, it's your overall level. Cantrips scale with your level, not with your class level.
Cool.
Yeah, so at 11 that became 3d8. Also, Eldritch Blast for Nazim, that upgraded for you. Any of your guys' cantrips upgraded at level 11.
Oh, yay.
I'd adjust a little bit of that too, because I didn't take that into account, but it'll be very, very minor.
Huh?
Anyways, we'll talk about it later. So I walk back to the keep.
Okay. All right. As soon as you walk back within, visuals within sight, let's say of the front of the mess hall, you see the owl who had been perched above the door flap her wings, come awkwardly flying in your direction, kind of being pelted by snow, and not a graceful flight by any means.
Yeah.
Definitely Sarah's owl.
all gangly and
awkward.
awkward.
Now, Bard, okay, you can stay out here. I'm gonna go inside.
All right. What is Nork doing?
Just waiting to go. So I guess just wait around until everybody's ready to go.
Just anxious to go get back to.
I just thought of something. I had Sai with me that whole time when we were at the church place, and I completely forgot.
Did you resummon her? She got killed.
Oh wait, right.
Yeah.
Did I resummon her?
I don't remember you resummoning her since then. I imagine that Artemis probably would have.
I'll resummon her now then.
Okay, sure.
I forgot she had gotten killed.
Narratively, then, I guess, being in a dangerous place, maybe Artemis just didn't want to bring her back and then just have her be killed again. So maybe you just wait until you're back to a safe spot. All right. You resummon her. She's her normal, happy, jumping self. Noraka, then is it maybe anxiety then for having to head back to your homelands? What is it that Norak is feeling awkward about?
Just ready to get going.
Okay.
Get the shit done. So yeah, pretty much.
Okay. How about Nazim? What's Nazim up to?
Nazim is thinking about the crown from the very first encounter with the team.
Mm-hmm. The one that Artemis is wearing? Yep.
Yeah.
The Wood Sage's chorus?
Yes. The artifact or whatever you guys called it.
Yeah.
And he's starting to feel a little bit as if he's losing his edge. So he's going to distance himself from the group and just kind of find a quiet basement or a lower room of the area, maybe a storeroom or a stock room with grain or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to look for mice, rats, large rats, and just spend a few hours just essentially torturing rats. But it's going to be just minor illusions.
Man, weird day for the Crow Fort today. Bad day to be an animal.
Yeah, bad day for small creatures.
Yeah, vicious mockeries, just minor illusions, just psychologically terrorizing rats, just to make sure that he still got it. I guess.
Holy Jesus! Do not let Artemis catch you doing that. She's going to be kind of upset.
Yeah, that might be like diametrically opposed to Artemis' sensibilities there.
You could go ahead and torture like villains and stuff, and like Band-Aids, good for that. But torturing poor little animals, come on now.
Pogo, I mean, you don't know this, of course, but Pogo did just murder a poor chicken too.
I mean, it
was food chicken. It was gonna be food chicken anyways, but still.
Please understand, rats are an upgrade. It would have been people. But I like you guys.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that deserve it. There aren't too many rats that deserve it. As far as, they're rats, they're doing what rats do kind of thing. So.
Mm-hmm. But just to hone the skills and just to make sure that make myself feel better about my abilities at the moment, because I just want to make sure that I'm still remaining sharp.
All right. You remain your sharp serial killer in training ways by torturing some helpless little animals and bugs and things like that. There aren't a lot, I'll tell you, especially with the kind of blizzard-like conditions that the Crow Fort is under. But the few that you manage to find, you torture in awful ways until they die.
Of natural causes.
of human intervention, natural causes of some sort.
Fear is natural.
Gravity's natural.
Yeah, that's true.
Fear and terror is 100% natural.
All right. So Sarah's spending time with her dad. Norak is just waiting. Nazim is torturing animals. Pogo went back to go get some rest. What's Artemis doing?
I'm just going to find a place to read. Oh, I'm going to go back to the library.
Okay. Okay. You mean the one in the Crow Fort, right?
Yeah.
Not the little library that doesn't have any books that's in the Kettle Keep. You're going to the one that's in the Crow Fort where Ozzy's stuff is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you walking into this is just Artemis, so the rest of you don't have this information. Artemis, you go walking into the Crow Fort, and when you do, you pass Pepperjack. Pepperjack walks past you. Oi, it's been quite a long night, and it hadn't quite realized that it was already morning. Or so far into the morning at least. I'm gonna go get some rest. So enjoy your stay. I guess you're heading to the library then.
Yep.
Okay.
Have a good rest, I guess.
Yeah, he seems extremely disoriented. He's definitely very much out of it, and he kind of stumbles past you a little bit, almost drunk-like, but clearly just extremely tired. Your estimates, I would say, by just Artemis' natural perception, he's probably well close to the 48-hour mark at this point, and he kind of stumbles past out into the snow. You make your way back into the library there. It's not changed really at all. The books don't look like they've even been touched. Like everything seems exactly in the shape, at least as the last time you had seen it with Sarah. which has been about a week or so at this point, while you guys were gone. What's that? What'd you say?
I'm just gonna pick some interesting one that's out and start reading.
Okay. You pull down a book that's the fauna of a place called the Reach, which is far to the south. And these are animals that you, of course, know, but you haven't really physically seen in person before, but one you've always been very interested in. And reading over it, you kind of lose track of time. It's been about 45 minutes or so, maybe at this point. It's been a little, some time anyways. Some time has passed. Not quite time enough for you to be hearing what you start hearing. You expect that you're hearing shuffling and like someone's tossing the place kind of sounds, and it's coming from across the hall, which is very strange. It seems like very abnormal. The place should be basically quiet. There's only a few guards, other soldiers that are in the place, and they definitely don't go frantically throwing things and searching.
Go investigate it.
Okay. You make your way outside the door, and across the hall from you is, across and then slightly to the left, is the entrance to the war room, and the door is open. And when you had walked by earlier, Pepperjack had just left and the door was closed when you walked by.
Okay. I'm slowly gonna peek in. Oh,
Okay.
actually, I'm going to use size vision to just go and peek in.
Okay. You send Sai then. You are still kind of in the middle, in the middle of this great hall area, this long hallway. And you send her around the corner, and you're going to just, I guess you probably move it to either side or something like that, standing there to use her, so that you're seeing through her eyes, or you just having her tell you?
I'm seeing through her eyes.
Okay, all right. Then you move to the side to kind of brace yourself. Your vision goes dark, and you start to use her vision instead. And you have her kind of peeking around the corner. You see this very tall, lanky humanoid shape, naked, and like this kind of pale mottled skin, leaning over an open drawer. In the main table, the table that Pepperjack is always standing behind when you guys come in here. He's kind of leaned over that, and this humanoid shape has the drawer open, and it's digging through papers in there. And this shape, I just revealed the token on the map there, or the image of it, digging through these papers there, kind of stops frozen still for a moment, and then slowly rotates its head around without moving the rest of its body, rotates its head around, looking at Sai. Alerted to her presence somehow here, stands up straight and then slowly kind of looking in Sai's direction here. Yeah, that works, Zuko. So looking at Sai though, as she starts to pull away, these kind of long, pale, clammy looking, almost claw-like hands that resemble the whole shape resembles like an old used candle. It has these kind of weird bellies of flesh that are like melted in places, it seems. But it stares at her briefly, and then with these kind of deep eyes full of malevolence, it just darts through in a blur and then just disappears through the wall.
Okay. I'm not really sure what to do with that. I'm going to use the Rocky-Talkie to tell the others to get over here because there's some weird creature, and then... Well, I'm going to stop using her vision.
Okay.
And
you snap your vision back to yourself, and as soon as you do, you don't hear this at all, but you see a familiar smiling face walking your direction, and it is Clover. And she says, "Oh, Artemates, it's so good to see you back safely. How have you been?"
I'm going to wave at her and then point towards the door.
What?
There's a weird creature in there. I'm gonna go and try to... I'm gonna use Grasping Vine on it.
It's
through the door.
On what? The creature's gone. The creature, as damn it, Sarah. As Sai was starting to pull away, the creature looked like it was teleporting. It traveled in a blur and then disappeared through the wall.
Okay. So I'm just gonna say there was a weird creature in there, and then I'm gonna kind of draw it and show it to her.
She squints at it a little bit. I don't recognize this. I don't know what this might be. What do you mean?
I don't either, but it was looking through papers in the room.
I want you to make two checks for me real quick, Arteme. I want you to roll a perception check from Sai, and then a perception check from Arteme. Sai first. All right, and then stop for a second. Well, that was yours. Okay, go ahead and roll Sai's.
So I'm trying to find size, but
What is her modifier? Do you see what her perception modifier is? Because I think she has keen senses for advantage, right?
yeah, perception is +3.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20 plus 3. Roll it with advantage. So just roll 2d20, I guess, and we'll just pick the higher and add 3. Box?
Yeah.
You looking for a way to roll it? There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking for where to roll it because I
No
accidentally hit the D12 instead.
No problem. When the creature disappeared, Sai, sniffing the air, like still pulling around with her keen senses, she had the distinct smell of ozone. Ozone is anytime that there's teleportation or electrical magic generally, electricity in general, but magic is usually the source. But teleportation always provides the distinct smell of ozone in the air because of the atoms being split.
Okay.
And when Clover is leaning over and looking at this picture that you've drawn, you know, as you're kind of trying to hastily draw this image, this kind of melted person image, she looks at it and then looks back at you, and you, smelling the air, smell the same smell coming from her.
Smell of ozone.
Yep.
Okay.
What is it? You seem suspicious.
Did you use magic?
I use magic all the time.
How was your trip?
Her eyes squint, and you have just the briefest moment of a reaction. Something is clearly very wrong.
Okay, quick
What are you
question.
doing? Uh-huh.
So, Arteme had told us over the Rocky Talkies that there was a creature, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when Sarah heard that, she would have told her dad to stay and immediately ran for the war room. So
Okay.
I don't know where I would be through this conversation, but
Okay. How about the rest of you?
Yeah, when I got the word, I would have moved.
All right. And let's say what kind of pace. Arteme didn't sound particularly scared, but there being a creature in the war room is probably alerting enough. So what kind of, without meta-knowledging here, what kind of a rush would you all be in?
Wait, would Pepperjack hear it too? Because does he have a Rocky Talkie too, or just Ozzy?
It's up to you guys. You can send it to whoever you choose to. You said the rest of the group, so that's who it was sent to.
I would
That's
have
that's why you guys are able to send it to individuals as well, and not necessarily
right. Okay,
broadcast
I
to
would
the
have
group.
sent it to him too because he just left. But yeah.
You didn't say that though.
Shit.
You know what though? I would say that Arteme in the moment, specifically it being Pepperjack's, room.
True.
That is
Yeah.
fair that you do. Okay, all right, that's fair.
So I just thought of asking like who has a Rocky Talkie because I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
asked that before. So I thought I'd clarify. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I would
I think
say-
specifically because it was his room. Go ahead.
I would say Pogo would probably be either sitting or laying in his bed and would not, like, he'd probably sit up and then begrudgingly start fast walking, but not running.
Okay, so real
Like, he's
quick
probably,
though.
at this point, it's probably like not going to be like, he's probably not assuming this is like a
Okay.
like huge emergency being in the middle of a fort. Like, I can't imagine, Pogo can't imagine, like, I don't know. I think he'd walk briskly, but he wouldn't run.
All right.
Sarah would run, especially since something had come in her room and taken that necklace off of her in the middle of the night. So,
What? Yeah. Broom or
no, she would have just,
running through the
dashed.
snow? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And Nazim? You don't have this, but you hear Sarah, Arteme, and Norok all like rushing through the keep, like they're running out the door.
Yeah, I'm hearing this all go around, so I'm going to stop playing with my toys and kind of whip the head around and kind of run up and see what the kabuffle is, what's happening.
Okay.
I don't really know what's going on, but I'm just going to kind of keep my distance to make sure everyone's safe.
Okay. Well, if all of you are heading this direction, then it's going to be probably running at full speed as fast as you can, except for Pogo. It'll still be probably at least 15 seconds or so before you can get to the Kettle Keep, basically, to get to the Crow Fort, and then she's kind of further inside. So it's going to be probably 30 seconds or so before you can make it all the way there. But as far as you guys, rushing as fast as you can, unless you have other means of getting there quicker. If you're kind of running and just dashing, it's going to be about that before you can make it there.
Yeah, I'm just at a full dash.
Sure. All right. Then rushing through the door, then Sarah, Norok, and Azim, and Arteme, you all kind of running out through the front. You see across the courtyard, it's kind of, it's still filled with snow, but it's emptier than you guys have seen it in a while, except for all the holes that people have dug. But across the way, you do see Pepperjack very groggily opening the door where his quarters are, and kind of holding his eyes, or holding a hand over his eyes for the snow, and just kind of slowly stumbling out into the snow, still extremely exhausted, clearly, and kind of in the direction of the main keep inside the Crow Fort here.
I'm just running past him.
Okay. Well, he's on the far side. He's not even close to you guys. You just can see him as you guys are rushing towards the keep. But Arteme, the image in front of you of Clover, the features begin to change and melt a little bit. You've heard a few stories of these melted people in the capital, and this appears to be one of them. You did, of course, gather from this that this creature can it seems to change its shape. I will also tell you that what she said. No, you probably didn't see enough details of that. But so, anyways, as she's kind of leaning over this and gathering that you don't seem to trust what she's saying, she kind of leans one hand over your shoulder, like she's going to try to, like hugging you, like reassure you, and then her other hand melts into this kind of dagger-like shape and is going to try to stab you with it. You do have a moment to react because you caught it first, is all.
Okay, I'm gonna move back and then use grasp vine.
Okay, you can't really. So I'm saying that you have a moment to react there in the moment with her there, but she put her other arm around you and it turns solid, like she's trying to hold you in place. So you can't really move necessarily in this quick kind of surprise round kind of a moment here. You just have a very brief moment to react.
Okay, then instead I would take one of my own daggers out and try and knock hers away.
Okay, it's her hand, but yeah, I mean, it is her hand kind of became dagger-like essentially. That's not the right one, but that'll work. Okay, go ahead and roll. I'm gonna have her roll an attack for it here anyway. Why did that not roll the dice? Oh, I didn't click the attack button. I'm gonna roll it with disadvantage actually because of you trying to knock it away, and that's how we'll math you attempting to knock it away. Sound fair?
Yep.
Well, a 20 or a 19 will still hit. The blade-like hand sinks in. Whoops, didn't mean to click that again. I'm not used to fucking regular Foundry all of a sudden. Not very far, but you catch it just in time to kind of keep it from sinking too far into your rib cage, as this kind of blade-like hand is stuck in your midsection, and then she yanks it free, and the face kind of begins to melt into that same shape that you had seen previously, no longer looking like Clover. Go ahead and give me initiative.
I'll wait. I'm guessing I have to wait around.
Well, yeah, you're going to be around behind everybody else. Go ahead and everybody give me initiative, but you guys won't be in until...
Are you going to put us in the combat tracker?
Yeah. That's right. You don't have... Yeah, okay. Here, I'll put your guys' tokens on the map here, and we'll do it that way. That'll be the easiest way. I didn't have a battle map ready. You saying that you were going back into the keep at that time was awful timing for something else that may have been happening. But
for your planning.
Yeah, so you having to catch something you weren't otherwise going to catch. All right, you guys are in the combat track. You can go ahead and initiative up. Ben?
I'm lagging here. If you want to just roll it for me.
Yeah, no problem.
I get advantage on it.
And if it matters,
as
soon as I could see the situation, I'd at least start running my normal.
Then you'd speed up.
Yeah. So I have a few things that can get me pretty far, so I'll probably end up using one of them. So
Sure.
maybe I won't be too far back.
No problem. All right. Then from the start, then Nazim, Pogo, Norok, Sarah, I'm sorry, you guys are all running as fast as you can. Let me turn this down a little bit. It's a little bit loud. There we go. All right. Arteme, you having been just a short stab, like you managed to catch it, so only sunk in a couple of inches just below the rib cage. Clearly, surprised by this as her features kind of melt back into this kind of alien-looking shape. No longer trying to keep up the guise of actually being Clover. You try to step away from her just briefly. There's only about a couple of feet gap. What are you doing?
I'm gonna do a stab with my own dagger.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Okay.
Nazim's already dancing. Or is that just, okay? He's not flipping uncontrollably yet. I thought it was
It's coming.
Yeah, I thought it was spinning like crazy already, but it wasn't. It was just a normal spins. You try to jab her back with a dagger, and using her other hand that had been around your shoulder, she kind of just grabs your wrist and then shoves you back from it. She looks like she's about to hit you with something worse. Any bonus actions or movement?
I'm gonna try and move back. Did she let go of me yet?
Yeah, she's no longer. She wasn't grasping, or what's the word I'm looking for? She wasn't grappling you, but she was trying to hold you in place to stab you. Was her intent?
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna move back.
Okay. I don't have a battle map for you, but how far back are you going? You're still basically within the 5-foot range right now. So let's say how many 5 feet or how many squares would you be moving back?
6.
Your full movement? Okay. You're going to try to run. Okay. You turn and run to get your full, 30 feet, getting away from her. No bonus actions then?
No.
Okay. All right. Then, as you are trying to get some distance from her, you're turning kind of peek over your shoulder, and you see one of the hands that had turned into this kind of dagger-like shape aim in your direction, and a beam of electricity shoots out at you. It'll be a dex save.
Okay.
Why do I have to edit that to? It says 10, but it's actually would be her charisma. It'd be +2, so it's only a 12. Well, you got an 11, so it was only a 12 that you had to beat, but you got an 11, unfortunately.
Great rolls.
Yeah, rolled real bad, so only 16 damage. Fucking 3 1s, 2 2s, and 3 3s. All of them below average roll of dice. Well, average or below, anyways. 16 damage of the electricity hitting you in the back, and there's an ear-piercing squeal, and the creature is just leaping after you, bouncing on these. Its feet are not even. There's no ankle. It's like a downward point, and it's just plinking off of the floor, off of the stone, as it comes running in your direction, trying to chase after you. Nazim, Pogo, Nora, you not yet, but the next turn. So it'll be Arteme, and then the creature, and then it'll be back to you guys, and you'll be at the doorway then and can see the creature.
Got it.
Yeah.
Did we hear that screech?
You definitely heard the screech, and you heard the telltale bolt of electricity being sent through, because you're almost to the door by now.
Couldn't Nazim
How-
tell what that was, that screech and that electrical bolt, or have knowledge of what that might have been?
Give me for Nazim. Well, anybody. Nazim is probably the only one who might. Give me a history check from Nazim. It sounded vaguely familiar, like maybe it's something you read in a book, but it's too, it's too hectic of a moment for you to really put much thought into identifying what it was.
How far are we from the door?
You'll be at the door in the next round.
So could I Misty step to the door like I'm 30 feet away?
Yeah.
Sweet, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay, then real quick before Arteme's turn then, Sarah, you misty step to the doorway. That does take your bonus action. As soon as you appear in the doorway, I can't go back, right? Cool, I can. All right. Then you misty step into the doorway, and peering into where this scream came from, you see this long, very tall, very gangly-looking, melted-like creature plinking off of the floor with these like needle-like feet, running at Arteme, who is running away from it.
How far away is it from me?
40 feet.
Oh, great.
It's about 60 feet from the door to where the teleport room is. Okay.
Ugh. Probably not.
Oh, damn it. If I had had the fucking battle map on here, you guys could have had the cool things that I added.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I kind of want to see him anyway, so here's what I'm going to do, guys. Just because you guys haven't seen him.
I do like that.
Well,
Just attack me or something?
No, well, I don't even need to do that. I mean, technically, I'll hide the this thing, and then I will just... Actually, I'll just do this. There we go. All right, Sarah, hold down Alt and then click on the creature. You guys can see the name there. Everybody knows. Yep. Everybody understands what I was doing, right? What was happening here?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and then go ahead and click your damage button on Firebolt. 12 doesn't actually hit, by the way, so so it didn't hit. But I just want you guys to be able to see it.
But...
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, I must have a... Yeah, there must be a permission thing I've got to change. Let me try it.
Does it usually go from one to the other? Like
yeah, it actually goes between the targets and everything.
Shit.
Did I break something? All right, well, maybe I'll have to look at it. I had it working the other day anyways, but I haven't really tinkered with it for a bit. I showed Ben and Becky it already.
Is it on the attack or the damage?
It's specifically on the damage is when it, so it would only apply, it would only go off when the damage is rolled, because it wouldn't, you know what, I probably should change that actually. By default, it is set up to only roll it when damage, but the at least attempt anyways, even if it misses, so I may change it. But anyways, yeah, we'll come back to it. But you send off a bolt of fire.
Regardless, there's the bolt of fire shooting.
Yeah, exactly, it's still trying, yeah, even if it's not hitting that, you know.
It doesn't just like putter out like an old car. Like and like puff.
Yeah. There used to be a rule for spell fizzling stuff that I thought was really cool, but it just added an extra whole layer of, it's like an optional rule thing, and it just added this unnecessary complication. Anyways, it goes sailing over the creature's head. Arteme flying over your head. You heard Sarah release this bolt. You know it's her just from the gasp that she made, even at 60 feet away like you are from her right now. But you see this kind of bolt of greenish fire going sailing over your head.
Yeah.
You still have movement, Sarah, because you misty stepped there, so...
Yeah, so I'll just use my full move. No, it's 60 feet from me?
It's about 45 feet from you, and Arteme is another 15 feet ahead of it.
And it's not paying any attention to me, it's still going
It's chasing after her, yeah. She is bleeding, there's a trail of blood on the floor.
I will go up 25 feet.
Okay. All right. There's actually another thing I keep meaning to use that is this whole like overlay thing that you can use for like near, far, and melee, and it's basically just lines that you can easily slot people into. So when you're doing a visual thing like this, Theater of the Mind, it's really easy to still keep ideas for ranges. But I keep meaning to put it together and haven't done so. So we'll just say that you're here, the creature is there, and we'll call that about that distance anyways, and Arteme is the other direction of here. Does that work?
Yeah.
All right. Brings us back to Arteme.
Now I'll use Grasping Vine on it.
Okay. Go ahead and click it. Make sure you're marking off your guys' spell slots and everything, too.
Yeah, it automatically marks it unless I undo it.
Sure. All right. DC 16. It succeeds. You try to send the vine from the floor out far enough behind you to grasp out at it, and the vine lashes at it just as the creature's needle-like foot is stepping down. The vine wraps around the foot, and he just yanks his foot free. There's no ankle for it to grab onto. The vine just slips beneath it. Again, a 17 for your DC 16 is also.
All right, so.
You're very quickly. You've got another 10 feet before you're gonna hit the wall, so you don't have very far. Much further that you can go.
I'm gonna use Magic Stone, and then I'm gonna use Magic Stone.
Okay, as a bonus, as an action.
It's a bonus.
Cast it. Okay. Well, the Grasping Vine's a bonus, so.
Oh, okay. Wait, then I could do an action. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah. I made your arrows too. If you want to try your arrows real quick.
Sure, I'll try the arrow.
If you would, you pull your bow off and try to shoot him. See if that works. Anyways, go ahead and target him. Hang on. I think I know what it was. Yes, that's what it was. I have to have it targeted, not you guys. No, they have it targeted, but I have to target it for it to work.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be that way. I just don't have it set up correctly. Wait, wrong thing. There it is, your short bow. 14 would hit, Fox, so 17 still would too, but I'm gonna roll this so you guys can see it real quick here. Although with that tiny range, there you go.
Yeah,
if I had done it across the screen, it would have been a little more impressive. But
Yay!
but
totally worth it.
I mean, all the features are still there, anyways. It's just, in fact, actually, one of my favorites. Hopefully, will be coming up here in a minute. You turning around, though, spinning in place, the vine, the creature just slips straight out from the vine. You just unsling as you're rotating in place, and yank an arrow out of your quiver at the same time, all in one smooth motion. Release the arrow. It catches the creature in the stomach, and it kind of stops for a moment, looking down at this arrow that's still sticking out, and it just grabs it and yanks it free, and kind of tosses it on the ground angrily, and starts plinking off the floor, running at you. It's at full speed. That was action, a bonus action. Any further movement? You still have about 10 feet before you hit the wall, but that's about it. Unless you're going to try to run past it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and run past it ish.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go diagonally, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah, to avoid its hit range is what you're trying to do.
Yeah, while still moving past it.
Sure.
Back to my comrade.
Okay, you run around it then. Sarah's still further away than that, actually. But you do, as you're running, you see this tiny little halfling silhouette against the snow in the background. But you kind of spin around, as this creature is following you with its gaze the whole way. Coming to the creature itself, it is launching itself back at you. It kind of leaps off of the floor with these very spindly, awkward-looking legs, flying through the air, kind of turning both arms into these dagger-like shapes. It's going to try to stab you with it again. For a 20. I assume that hits, Fox?
Yeah, that definitely hits, sadly. My AC is 16, so...
That's with your shield, too, though, isn't it? With your scale shield? Yeah. Which, if you have your bow in your hands, you're not using. But either way, a 20 would hit anyway, so... for 10 damage... Do you remember how to apply that?
Yeah.
Sailing through the air, bringing these kind of dagger-like shapes, both jab into your shoulders as it kind of plinks off of the floor, this almost crystalline sound when its feet hit the floor, and it yanks them free and kind of shoves you back like it's about to cast another bolt of electricity at you. You do have to make a concentration check for your grasping vines.
Oh, if the vine didn't grab it, I wouldn't keep concentration on it. You
would have dropped it. You can use it as a bonus action on each turn without costing the spell slot.
Okay, yeah, so I should. When it asked, I said no, so I should probably. So how do I do the concentration?
It's just a concentration or a Constitution save. It was the same thing. That fails. Nope. It's 10 is the minimum, or half damage, so 10 of them. All right, so concentration drops then. With the jabbing into your shoulders there. Nazim, you rushing up as fast as you can, just barreling through that. You probably floating through it, I guess, anyways. But you make your way to just around the corner of the doors of the Great Keep there, beside Sarah, and see this kind of alien-looking creature facing in your direction, staring down at Arteme, who has just kind of stabbed its hands into her and then pulls them free, spraying blood on the walls. What are you doing?
As I look at it, am I able to tell what it is from sight? Is it a celestial? Is it an elemental?
It is. As far as the group that it is, I think it's a monstrosity. It's a shape changer, really, but yeah, it's a monstrosity.
Okay. And what's my approximate range to it?
35, 40 feet.
35, 40 feet. All right, I'll move forward, so I'm 30 feet away.
Okay.
I'll just move my character there. I don't have. And I will. All right. I'm going to cast an Eldritch Blast, and I'm also going to perform a bonus action after.
Sure. All right. 1 second here. How do I do that? All right, go ahead and click the attack roll for Eldritch Blast. That will hit. Go ahead and click the damage, and we'll see if it goes off. If it doesn't, then watch this one, guys. This was my favorite one.
Oh, Eldritch Blast?
It's pretty cool looking. Go ahead and click the damage, Sako, and if it doesn't, then I'll click the damage from my side. I'm not sure if you guys have the permissions for it to fire off automatically for you or not.
I just clicked damage and it grayed out after I clicked it.
Uh-oh, that's a foundry.
Do you have something running like a uBlock Origin or something like that? Anything that might be stopping the scripts from running? Maybe?
No.
Huh.
Pew!
It did not work that time. Did you see it?
No. I meant
Okay.
it eventually rolled.
Oh, as far as the roll? Okay.
At least the roll.
Yeah, it was 12. Yeah, all right. Yeah, as far as the graphic, though, it's fine. I'll figure it out before next time. I just didn't really go through all of them. Eldritch Blast one looks really fucking cool, though. The running towards the doorway, though, catching up to Sarah, you send a bolt of this black electricity in its direction. It goes just barely over Artemis' head as she's trying to duck out of the way after it kind of stabs into both of her shoulders, and hits it square in like almost neck, just below the neck. Are you going to send a second bolt?
That doesn't use up a bonus action, is that correct? Or is that
No,
just,
you get 2. Yeah. In fact,
yeah,
actually,
so both.
now that you're level 11, you might get 3.
You might get 3, yeah.
Yeah. Look at Eldritch Blast. It is because all the cantrips upgrade at the same levels. 3 beams at 11th level. Yep. So you have 3 of them now.
Dang!
Just for your action.
do another attack then?
Okay. Oh, hang on. You didn't have him targeted. Maybe that. It doesn't matter. I'll figure it out later. 16 will also hit. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Normal damage?
Yeah. Another 8. Okay, and you're gonna do a third blast.
Yep.
Okay. That will also hit. 13 more shit.
Dang.
Okay.
That's a lot for a cantrip.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's warlocks. Warlocks are
3 hits.
Yeah, Eldritch Blast, chaining, machine gun of Eldritch Blasts. But you run up to the doorway, seeing this creature attacking Artemis. You send out one bolt with one hand, and then the other, and then the first hand again. All 3 of them connecting with this creature as it just kind of rocks itself back and forth. I'm thinking a little bit like Terminator 2, the liquid guy. Yeah, like when he's being shot, it's kind of knocking him away, but his facial features aren't changing at all. This kind of alien-looking features don't seem to be responding, but it's clearly very hurt. It's like blasting bits of it off, like a hole in its chest. It actually doesn't look like it's long for this world if it were to continue this kind of a fight. And it starts looking panicked, like it's looking for an exit. Any bonus actions?
Bonus action, Psychic Shove. And,
Okay.
This is a very agile creature. This thing runs real fast towards
Very
me.
fast, yep.
Okay, yes.
It was closing the distance on Artemis like it was nothing.
Okay, yeah, we're going to push that guy back 30 feet.
Okay.
Or
Click
15 feet, sorry.
click the thing for it. Is it a strength save it has to make or something like that?
Yeah. Why isn't it working? Oh, cast spell. There you go.
Psychic shove. Succeed on a strength save or be pushed 15 feet, and you're just trying to push it directly away from her?
Yeah, I'm just going to try and get some more distance because this thing closes in real fast.
Sure. It succeeded on the strength save. You using your mind to try to force the creature away. It looks in your. It snaps its head up in your direction. This is the first time it's really acknowledged you, despite you having hit it with the bolts of this black electricity over and over again. It snaps its head in your direction, and just you feel this insane malevolence coming from this creature. It does not respond to the shove.
Flip on the bird. That's it.
All right, and we come to Pogo.
So now I can come out and I see him. What's the distance on him now? About 40
You come
feet?
around the corner. Well, it's still going to take your movement to get to the door.
Okay, so I get
So
to the door.
you still rushing up to the door. As you're running up, you see Nazim sending out these bolts of electricity at the creature. You close the distance, make your way to the door, standing beside Sarah in the doorway there. He's about 45 feet away from you.
Okay. And he looks pretty beat up.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna go ahead.
he looks
and,
afraid.
Looks afraid. In that case, I'm actually going to cast Sleep, and I'm going to cast that. I'm going to upcast it a higher level in the area that the creature is at. It's got a 90-foot range.
Okay, go and roll the dice.
All right, so we're gonna do it at.
This is the right way to use sleep, by the way. Nobody ever uses it correctly. They try to put it on something
Boosh!
where it's still
Just
like
toss
fully
that right in here.
do they get advantage or anything if you're already
They
attacking
don't even
them?
get a save. I just.
It's just the HP roll, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And roll.
Well, that'll be enough. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Yeah, 30. He had 7 hit points left. So you rushing around the doorway between Sarah and Nazim, and Artemis kind of shrug down a little bit after just being jabbed by this thing. You send this kind of soft bluish line between you and this creature, this kind of floating line. And as soon as it impacts the creature, it kind of breathes in what appears to be this smoke through these nostrils. There's no nose on the face, just these 2 little nostril holes. It seems to kind of be breathing these in, and it gets kind of like its head is too heavy and lolls off to one side, and then collapses onto the floor right in front of Artemis.
Don't kill it.
Yeah, hey Artemis, you still have those weird shackle things that they had on me, so I couldn't use any magic?
I'll slap them on her. Whatever.
Okay. You have the trap kind? I don't think you have the manacles, do you?
I have
You
the
just have
manacles and a trap. I picked both up.
Where'd you get the manacles from?
I think we have them in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Okay, so remember when we looted the one guys after we killed them all because they were after Sarah? They used the trap on her.
Yeah, but that was the trap on the ground. That's not manacles. That's like a bear trap.
One of them had a set of manacles in his bag, and I picked it up.
Okay, no, they actually did have those. I just didn't remember you guys grabbing those. Okay, cool. Okay, so you're putting those on him then? On the creature?
I don't want to be. Are we putting on? We should probably put it on its feet, right? Not on his hands.
Make sure Pogo, now that you all are like Norak, poor Ben. It literally, it would have been him next. Like he didn't get to do anything for that. But Norak and the rest of you coming around the corner, making your way into the keep. Pepperjack beside you. He was just making his way to the door as well.
Can I ask what is this? What just happened, guys? I thought we were safe.
You tell me. What is this? I heard that there was a creature here. I just came in, and this is what I find. What happened?
The thing we put the manacles on is what was here. It was rifling through the desk, and when I approached it, it turned into Clover and started chatting me up, but I smelled the ozone from, like, when it disappeared and then reappeared near me, so...
It looked like Clover?
Yeah.
Did anyone else see this happen?
I just saw it as the thing it looks like now.
Nazim, by now that there's a moment of calm here. 2 things. Nazim, you recognize what it is. This is shapeshifter. This was a doppelganger. And 2, for Justin, or for Pogo rather, the legs taper off. So think of imagine a spike that is wider at the top and very skinny at the bottom. If you there's not really knees to speak of.
Put manacles on it.
Yeah, well, around the feet.
Okay.
The hands right now are hand-shaped at the moment, and there does appear to be like a wrist-like shape, at least enough. But yeah, around the feet, it would slip right off. It seems like.
Listen, this is a living, obviously intelligent creature. We should at least figure out what it's doing here and why.
Does anybody know what it is?
I'll let them know what I know and share with the group.
We've been hearing stories, I'm sure all of you had for years now, of the melted people in the capital, and this is the first I've ever seen. If any of you had experience with these, do you know what we need to do with this thing?
Does anyone have, while we're talking, does anyone have some rope? Maybe you can at least tie its legs together here at the top where they're not so pointy. Although if it can change its shape, I don't know how good that might be. We might want to, everyone, be prepared just in case. I'm going to pull out my sword and shield and just kind of keep it close to the sleeping creature, just ready, just in case.
Okay.
I don't know how much experience Nazim has with shapeshifters, but...
Never would have seen him, just read about him.
Gotcha. So never one-on-one experience.
Correct. This is your first time seeing one. You've seen pictures drawn, but that's all.
So if this thing looked like Clover, does that mean that this came back instead of Clover then?
I have to expect as much. It's the only thing that makes any sense. She was acting strangely. She didn't come to see me. She didn't report in when she returned. I just heard that Clover was seen back here, and I've been waiting to see her. That's why I've been so on edge between this and Samson both returning, and what a day. Kind of takes his hands, covers his eyes, kind of smishing his eyes.
Yeah, and you said that Clover had gone to the keep to look for us, right?
She was looking around, last I'd heard, that she was looking around the cattle keep, and Strings had seen her and tried to flag her down, and she just waved and gave him a smile and dashed off.
Right.
It was very abnormal. It was only an hour and a half ago. I was expecting she would just, come and check in when she had a moment to put her things down or something, but...
How long does this sleep thing last for, Pogo?
I mean, until someone wakes it up.
Great. So should we wake
Let
it
me
up?
double check that. I better not lie about my spell.
Well, apparently we can't get it to leather then if it's sleeping.
You at least got to kill it if we
Yeah.
try to skin it.
Well,
this isn't the Dread Fort.
You know what?
You aren't the
This
Boltons.
this actually might only last a minute. So, yeah, I think it only lasts a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna actually kind of sit with my knees on this thing's shoulders, like holding my knife to its throat. For
It
when
is
wakes up.
much bigger than you, and if it wakes up and were to stand up quickly, it would, based on its
Oh, it would
size and
launch
what
me?
you saw it moving, it would launch
Hey,
you for
Norok,
sure.
do you want to sit on this thing's chest?
Yeah,
Just
I'll
make
let
sure
it-
that you can
my
put your
sword, man.
knees. Yeah,
Okay.
just hold it down. We don't want to kill it.
It's probably, when it was standing straight up, which most of the time it was hunched over, but when it's standing straight up, it's probably a little bit taller than Norok, but much skinnier. Like, it doesn't have muscle mass to really be able to fight Norok off, but yeah, a 40-pound Pogo, it would fling across the room.
While it's asleep, am I able to just move towards it and sense any type of arcana energy coming off of it? So if we ever do run into another shapeshifter, we kind of can get the essence.
I guess, Phil, give me a little more detail on what you're trying to do.
Since it's the first time that we've all encountered it, I was thinking we can use this time while it's unconscious to see if we can detect its essence of some sort. So in the event that we run into another shapeshifter, we can kind of sense, hey, this person X has the same arcanic energy or whatever the scenario may be.
So I think how you do this in game is you say, I go up and I smell the creature.
Well, I was just going to tell you
and
specifically
see
that it
what
has...
kind of musk it has.
Well, for real, that's actually what Arteme
Yeah.
had tipped off on earlier, is that it has a very strong, distinct smell of ozone. Was that Ben? Yeah, Ben just dropped Becky?
Yeah, he's gonna put on his headphones on his phone and go smoke.
Okay. All right, so the creature has a very strong, distinct smell of ozone around it. Nazim, I would tell you that Sarah, Nazim, and Arda, and Pogo, actually, so I guess really all of you except for Norok, because Norok doesn't have a lot of experience with magic and the arcane, apart from your guys' travels. Anytime that atoms are split, this is a real-world thing as well, anytime that atoms are split, that's where that smell comes from. O3 has a very distinct... It smells like electricity, like humans. When you smell it, that's
You
what
ever smelled a
describe it.
broken stereo?
Yeah, I mean, like batteries that leak sometimes will have that smell. Like, it smells like ozone, and it's because the atoms that are splitting are leaving these free radicals that are left over from it, right? Well, anyway, the atom splitting when it shifts its shapes. Let me stumble over that stupid name. But anyways, when it shifts its shape, it's doing that. It's changing the atomic structure of the body, and therefore is giving off this very strong odor of ozone. And hence, it's the same thing when electrical bolts travel through the air. But anyway, it has a very distinct, strong ozone smell. Yes.
Okay, so from here on out, the smell of ozone will be...
That's not the only time it happens. Also, electricity will do that. There's certainly other... teleportation does the same thing. So anytime you guys travel through the wormholes and then come out to the other side through the teleportation circles, it's the same thing. You smell it then too. But yeah, I mean, if it's coming strongly off of a person, that's probably certainly a suspicious indicator, let's say.
All right.
But about there, as Nazim is kind of assessing this as best he can,
I want to be like 20 feet away from this thing.
Okay. All right. Sarah steps further back. Pogo had
I'm gonna
told
be
you.
right in its fucking face.
Okay.
And the second it wakes up, since Norok's got his thing, I'm actually going to cast suggestion. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just going to let it wake up, and I'm going to immediately tell it, listen, if you don't want to die, if you don't want to leave this plane of existence, I promise you don't. Please relax. if he looks, this man right here, he has no trouble just ripping your head straight off, and we don't want that. None of us want that. So please, just stay calm.
Okay. Its eyes open with a panic. Norok, you are still sitting on the creature. It tries to lift you up, and you feel it kind of bump under you, but there's not really enough strength there to really push you off. As Pogo is speaking, are you reacting in any other way? You'll need to unmute yourself. Ben?
He's outside on those crappy headphones, so I don't know.
He just unmuted himself.
Don't try to move my friend here. He's not going anywhere.
He just unmuted himself. G?
But he doesn't know what happened, does he?
Well, no, he heard all. He had reconnected.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Say something, G. Yeah, it's too muffled to be able to hear you. You what? Just gonna sit there? Is that what you said?
We need to know what happened.
We're gonna have to just start taking fucking smoke breaks in the middle of it, I guess, so that this is not. Anyway, all right then, Ben. I'm just gonna assume that you're not doing anything because I can't hear what you're saying, anyways. So, you looking down at it, Pogo kind of tells it to. To stay calm and it might survive this. Pogo, it looks in your direction. Nazim, after having spent a moment kind of breathing this in and kind of trying to analyze what this creature might be, there's an immediate burst of that same ozone smell, and the creature disappears.
No, wait. Would I have known that it was casting a spell?
It isn't a spell in that sense.
Damn it.
Yeah. Which is also why this is an innate trait instead of a spell. It's a magical effect. It doesn't require outside magical source, if that makes sense.
Can it still do that with the manacles on it?
Yeah. Specifically, it's not a spell, so okay. So what the manacles do?
It's like a trait of.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be the same as like a creature that has like the hag, for example, has a bunch of things that are not spells but are magical effects. Same kind of thing. This is an innate trait to the creature. Basically, the in real world, I've explained to you guys a little bit of how the magic works. Is that they are waves, like the way that light works, right, coming in from it. Well, if you don't need anything from the outside, the same way that Sarah was still able to do her shadow knife from the inside. Was it shadow knife? You did something. I forget which it was. There were certain things you can do when you're inside of it, right? That are not magical effects that are innate, like spells.
I immediately tell everyone we need a code word. Banana. Code word's banana, so we know that we're not that thing. Because I'm assuming we don't see it pop up anywhere near us, right?
You don't, but give me perception checks, everybody. Ben, I'll roll it for you.
Because I would immediately start looking to see where the hell it went.
If anyone smells of ozone, we're all pricking our finger and setting fire to the blood.
You gotta drink some gasoline at the end just to make sure. Mm-hmm. Ben, you got a 5, so... Is it advantage on perception from your shield? Sentinel Buckler. I don't remember which one that is. Well, you got a 5. I'm not going to re-roll it until you get back in. Nazim.
Shifters.
Yeah, there's a lot of... You know what? I didn't think about that. It is kind of the thing, though. Mm-hmm. It's not an abandoned laboratory or whatever. But Pepperjack kind of snaps away real quick. He puts his hand out like protectively, just instinctively in front of Sarah. Sarah's 20 feet back, but in her direction. Nazim, there is a surprised sound and a sound of a table being knocked over from floors above you. Some number of floors above you.
Would I be able to...
I'll announce to the team that someone's flipping tables, something's going on upstairs. I think you went up there.
Yeah, like sounds of like scream and surprise, and then a table being knocked over. It sounded like maybe like a gurney.
I guess start running upstairs.
Okay.
I'm going to use my... I'm going to go ahead and go as fast as I can and use my winged bracers to... use
dash as a bonus action.
Okay. So
okay.
Full speed, full sprint.
Then between you, Sarah, Becky? What were you saying?
No, I'm just agreeing full sprint up the stairs.
Okay. All right. Pepperjack is like trying to keep up, but he came. You guys are rested, and for the most part, and he's very well exhausted. He's got at least 2, so his speed would be reduced as well. But he can't, keep up. He's trying as best as he can, but the rest of you kind of just easily outpace him. You run to the end of the hallway, up these spiral stairs, going up and up and up and up. Nazim, having told you that it sounded like a gurney, or sounded like a metal table, you make it up your way up into the infirmary. Arteme was with the group. Fox, you didn't roll or anything. You still there?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
What was it supposed to?
You what?
What was I supposed to roll?
It's fine. Nazim already found it anyways. But there was a sound after the creature teleported away that sounded like it was coming from the infirmary. Are you running with the group? Fox?
Yes, I'm running with the group.
Okay. All right. Then you guys run your way up the spiral staircase until you make it your way into the infirmary. As soon as you burst in through the doors, there are 2 medics that are kind of standing in front of some patients, kind of arms out, trying to kind of keep them, behind them. And on the other side of the room, it is empty. There's a table knocked over, and this creature is standing up, obviously looking very gangly and scared, kind of walking backwards on these long, spindly legs towards a window.
I'm just gonna do. I can't get next to it, can I?
You're about 30 feet from it. All of the patients and the doctors are to the right, and this creature is backing up towards a window on the left.
I am just going to go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt at it.
Okay.
At a higher level. So
Okay.
I'm done fucking around. he had his
It got
chance.
as far away as it could. Yeah, it couldn't get outside into the snow, so it did as best as it could.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to instead. I'm going to use. I'm going to kind of just glance around real quick, and with a bit of a kind of panicked look, I'm actually going to cast Toll of the Dead on it instead.
All right.
So you guys see me kind of raise my hand and point at the creature, and this strange magic that you guys haven't seen me do, kind of attacks this creature.
The creature.
Oh, it's actually 3d12, by the way. So, but
because it's already damaged. Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll just put 2 different damage formulas in there and just use the other when it's already damaged.
I think it had it. I just think I didn't click it, but I could be wrong.
Oh, no problem. But the creature, as it's trying to back away, you see Pogo kind of looking its direction and kind of closes his eyes for a moment, very, very awkwardly trying to cast something that clearly is very new to him. And the creature slams both of its kind of these long claw-like fingers over the top of its head, over its ears rather, the palms over the ears, and the fingers are long enough to kind of grasp or intertwined over the top of its head, and kind of holding against his ears as if it's trying to get the sound out of its head and rocking himself back and forth, and then falls flat on its face and doesn't appear to be breathing. What was that? Did you guys bring something in? What did it follow you? What happened?
Nope. That didn't come with us. And she's just kind of like side-eyeing Pogo.
I'm just gonna walk up to the creature, and I'm gonna kind of like sit down by its head and just be like, "I gave you a choice. You had a choice. It was right there. That's all you needed to do."
It does not respond.
I'm just gonna get up and I'm gonna leave the room. I think Pogo's probably gonna walk back to Kettlekeep and let the group handle the other stuff.
Okay. Pepperjack walking into the room. What a mess. So if that was her, then she's still out there somewhere. And I think I had told you, at least, Lady Sarah, that she had been acting strangely over the communication lines for the last few days.
Yeah. And then she was supposed to come back, and she didn't.
Well, I'm hoping that she's at least still okay out there. What do we know about these creatures? Nazim, you seem to have some information.
First of all, does anyone know this creature, or is this just someone who should not be here?
It was looking like somebody that's supposed to be here, so it obviously had some kind of contact with the Clover. But does it have to hurt its target to change into its target, though? Because maybe she's not okay. So.
Gotcha.
I
So
don't know.
while
I'm
people
sure.
are just talking without even me acknowledging them, I'm just going to lean down and just start cutting small pieces of skin off of it for just no reason, just as if it's just normal, just normal practice.
Okay.
I'm just taking a small piece of arm skin, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to let everyone know that obviously it's a shapeshifter, and tell them what I know. Fill them in on the ozone situation, but also let them know that they can read surface thoughts. This type of creature can kind of read surface thoughts, and they have to study their target to be able to use appearance. So they've been watching that person for a while. So they've been studying that person for a while. So
Wonderful. Just what we needed. I have other contacts in the city. I guess I'll have to see if they can locate where Clover's last known was, I guess, before she started acting strangely over the communications. Maybe she's still safe. Maybe they can find her. What do we do with this in the meantime, apart from, I guess, early dissection? Is that what you're attempting?
I just need the leather.
I'm gonna leave this to you guys. You have fun with whatever it is you're doing to that thing, and I'm actually gonna go follow Pogo.
Okay.
You
You
could
make
probably
your way
catch
down
up
this-
to him. He's not running or anything. He's just walking.
Okay.
So, got some nifty new magic.
Yeah, it's not sure. I didn't even know if it was real or not. When I died, I thought it was a dream, but this hooded person approached in the darkness and this abyss, and at that time just told me he'd bring me back, and all I had to do was a small favor. Seems like afterwards he gave me whatever this is.
What sort of favor?
I don't know. Basically, I felt this almost powerful life-death magic inside me, and I'm not even sure exactly how it works. But it doesn't feels very different from what I'm used to. I don't know.
Did he give you a name?
I don't think so.
No, he didn't.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I was like, no, he just came to me in the black dark, almost quiet and solemn, and not extremely pretentious or anything, and
I
pretty
have
basic.
a favor to ask. Would you mind sitting down so I can cast something on you just to see something real quick? It's not gonna hurt, I promise.
That's fine. We can do it in the keep.
Alright. So when we get back, I'm going to ritual cast Identify and see if I can figure out if there is a different magic from what Pogo originally had.
Sure. Okay. You guys making your way back somewhat slowly then from Pogo's not in a hurry walk anyways. What are Norok and Arteme and Nazim doing with the body?
If it's dead, I'm just gonna completely dissect it to try and see how it works.
Try to what? Oh, dissect. Okay. Well, I mean, as far as dissection, Nazim's got an early start. His is at least mostly surface layers that he seems to be concerned with.
Just want the leather.
Well, I'm more concerned with like the internal organs, so it's fine. As long as I have a bit of skin study, I'm gonna be happy. So, right, yeah.
One of the medics from behind. Can you? I mean, we'll give you a table. I don't want to have to try to mop the entire floor. So if you guys don't mind, I mean, I can help you lift it up. We can just put the creature up on one of the operating tables. At least it'll be a little cleaner for all of you. And he comes over to.
Okay, stop.
I mean, he is kind of flaying this thing. Do you guys remember the Boltons from Game of Thrones? Remember watching Game of Thrones? Yeah.
Never watched it.
I still come across the little wiener meme every once in a while where he's shaking the sausage.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny actually. I literally just saw that episode maybe 3 or 4 nights ago.
You know what's lame?
Been
The
rewatching
ending
it
was
again.
so bad, it ruined it for me so bad.
It still
I don't think
does.
I'll ever rewatch
Yeah,
it.
it totally
Like,
does.
I can't rewatch, but I can't even rewatch the first few seasons because I know how bad the end is. I'm like,
So
oh,
the only
God.
reason that I'm doing it actually is the friend that I'm watching it with. She's never seen any of it before, and had wanted to, but wanted to be like I tried to make it very clear. Look, like we should stop after season 6. We should not go any further.
You should literally make a puppet show of how it should have ended, and that would be better than the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I could definitely write a better ending than Benioff and Weiss did. That's for sure.
It was rough.
Yeah.
In 6 seasons, just say they all lived happily ever after. That's it. Just
honestly, that would still be better. As wrong as that would be for the tone of the show, it'd still be better than what we got. But anyway, then with Arteme,
I'm still not curious enough to watch it.
it's really good, Fox. It's just that you need to stop after the 6th season. There's literally some of the best TV ever made up till then, and then it just falls off a cliff.
I tried watching the first episode because somebody said it was good, and just the content of the first episode, I was like, nope.
It might be a bit on the mature side for you. I know that sounds mean. I don't mean that you're immature. I just mean that the material might be a little bit too dark for you, but potentially. Pepperjack
Nazim loved it.
Nazim especially would love it. Yeah. Anyways, the creature there, Pepperjack, kind of just standing by and watching this thing. He clearly looks exhausted and like not sure what to do really in the moment, as Nazim and Arteme are slowly starting to take this creature apart, the corpse of this creature, with Pepperjack just kind of watching. What is Norik doing, G?
Too, and re-put them in the bag after cleaning them.
You what?
I'm gonna take the manticles off the creature and clean them.
Okay. All right. You put those away. What's Norik doing, G?
And when they're done, I'm just going to gather the pieces and take them outside and probably burn them, just in case it tries to liquid metal back together.
Okay. All right. All right. Then with you, basically all of you guys and Pepperjack then up there in the room, Sarah and Pogo, you guys make it back to the keep. The place is still quiet. It doesn't seem like anything has really happened here. All of the kind of panic and chaos that occurred was pretty localized inside the central keep of the Crow Fort, it seems. What are y'all doing?
You want to sit down and have a glass of wine while I do this? That's fine.
So I don't have to stand still or anything. I can just sit here and enjoy some beverage.
Yep. You can do whatever you want as long as you're sitting still while I do this for 11 minutes.
All right. I mean, how still? Like he's slowly. I'm gonna slowly lift my glass now. Can I move? What is this?
You're fine. Just don't get up and run around.
All right. No, that's fine. I can do that. No, I'm just gonna. I'll go ahead and sit down and grab a. I'm feeling like a nice red, so I'm gonna grab like a Zinfandel or something if I can find it. Drink that.
All right. Nice.
Pogo's becoming more. He's grown up.
Okay. Sarah, then, while Pogo is kind of... He's moving slowly. It doesn't really affect it too much as long as it doesn't distract your casting of the ritual as he's taking his sips. You finish the... Are you ritual casting or using spell slot?
I don't have a spell slot thing for this.
Oh, that's right. You can only do it. Yeah, the ritual. Okay. Then you finish the ritual, and throughout you keep getting these constant flits of energy that are coming in from a source that you don't recognize. You're used to anytime that you are studying magic items, you see a lot of Reconditus, you see a lot of Denel, especially around Arteme these days. You see a lot of around Nazim, you'd see a lot of Azol actually if you had identified around him. But basically the kind of general awareness of the rills that are kind of pouring in and out of your friends here. But these flits of this kind of very dark energy that keeps traveling into him, this kind of ethereal dark blue color, are not something you're super familiar with. You definitely are aware of it and have read about it, but you've never really seen much of it before, and it's called Corvalane. I'll spell it for you. It's a very ancient and very powerful rill, but you've never seen anybody use it before, and it seems that's where the source of energy that Pogo has been invested with is coming from.
Okay, so do I know anything specific about it?
What you do know is generally bad, and it is very much associated with death.
Oh.
It's a necromantic. It's a very powerful necromantic source. More than just Reconditus. You can use Reconditus to bring back the dead, even in certain circumstances. This is something far more ancient and far more powerful.
All right.
I don't like that look on your face. Is everything okay?
You're okay.
Is it the C word?
The what?
Oh, okay. For real, I can't help it because it was Justin. I assumed he meant cunt, but obviously he meant cancer, and it took me a minute. Like when I realized he meant cancer, I'm like, oh well, that's not like cunt was funny, but it was wrong. Oh shit. Anyways, sorry.
Pogo's got a case of the cunts. All right.
Well, it's really old, powerful magic. Not necessarily good magic. You don't remember what he wanted you to do?
I don't think he told me. He just standing there with kind of like a. He almost looked like a older mage. Like he had a staff, like a crooked staff. And I don't know. It didn't seem. He didn't, by immediate seeing him, seem evil or anything. It almost. I don't know. It didn't seem like I had a lot of choices. It just seems like something to choose.
Does his description of this guy sound familiar to anything that I've read?
Here's the thing. Maybe. So it's going to have to be a check, and it's going to have to be a disadvantage, and it's still going to be a very high DC. Go ahead and give me...
Pogo, I don't even think... Well, never mind.
Pogo didn't recognize him for sure, but Sarah's done more reading about this kind of stuff than Pogo has, is all. So Sarah, give me a history check with disadvantage, and it'll be, like I said, a pretty high DC. So
Just to point out, Artemis does love research, so if you need help.
Artemis, what?
You research, so if you need help.
That's true. Yeah, you guys might be able to, research to find more information on this, but as far as what Sarah might already know, yeah.
Controls disadvantage?
Yes, it should be. And if it doesn't, then you can just roll it a second time. Yeah, there you go.
Ugh. Damn it, that 19.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the most that you've read about it is that this is something that's nobody really uses anymore, and only the most ancient of dead/undead creatures are still around that know how to tap the Corvalane Rill. Imagine it for a quick comparison, because I keep using light as a wavelength that you guys recognize. Humans can see all of these lines of color, right? But ultraviolet light or X-ray or whatever, all of those variants of light that we know exist, but we can't really see them, we can't perceive them, we can't really do anything with them. Imagine it like that. This is it. You know that it exists, but nobody is around that can do anything with it.
And do I know if there's like a specific region of the world that it would have?
It was real popular in Ancient Vabby. It was extremely popular in Ancient Vabby. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. If you start having like weird dreams, I'll listen to them if you're worried about it. I had weird ass dreams too. I was hunted by shadow dogs, so.
All right. I haven't had any weird dreams yet, but it's happened yesterday, so
Yeah.
hopefully, maybe it's just maybe they'll just want me to go, fetch a shrubbery or pick some roses or something. Maybe it won't be so bad.
That would be amazing. I don't think that's what it's gonna be. But
it's probably a herring, if anything.
A herring. Maybe a herring.
Yeah, I'll do some research and let you know what I find, though.
All right. Well, don't let it bother you. I don't want it.
No.
I don't want to be a burden right now. We've got some real important things we got to look at.
You're not a burden, and I essentially got you killed, so I feel kind of responsible for this. Yeah, so I'm gonna go do some research.
By the way, now that we're together, maybe you should know that. I think maybe you've realized after that. Don't do that again. I don't think any of us are willing to let someone else go off on their own. I know it's hard to lean on people for help sometimes, but we're here for you too. So you help me here, and we'll help you everywhere else you need it. And that goes for your father too. He's part of our group now. I like him. He gives me good vibes.
He's a pretty good guy.
All right. Well, I'm gonna finish my wine and. Were they cutting up that body when we left the room? Did I see them going and just cut it up into pieces?
Yep, Artemis and Nazim were just going at that thing. So
They're not gonna cook it, right? I don't want to eat that. I
I
feel
don't
like
think
maybe.
I hope not.
Okay. I'm gonna check if they make food at all today. I'm gonna double check that. I don't want to eat that if that's what their plan is. I don't know what their plan is, but it seems,
I don't know either, but
it's off-putting. I'd rather
yeah.
eat pudding.
You should be off-putting.
All right. Well, that was a good talk, and thanks for giving me a once-over.
Yep, not a problem. Anytime you need it, just let me know.
Thanks.
Not even like a hand job joke or nothing?
Pogo's still coming back, man.
That's fair. That's
he'll
fair.
get there.
Yeah.
Has it been long enough for Ozzy to come back?
It's not been a couple hours yet. It's only been probably an hour, hour and a half, maybe.
Great, then I'm gonna head straight to the library and just sit down and start doing research.
Okay. All right, then you leave the Kettle Keep. Pogo, are you going in for rest and food?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat some food, quiet contemplation, and have just one glass of wine. Nothing major.
All right. Then Sarah, you turn around and head back to the main keep. We'll jump back to you in a second here as you head to the library. Then Norok, Arteme, and Nazim, as you guys have made your way probably further than you really would have expected, but Arteme has a lot of practice at this. If anything, I would say, Nazim, that might be a little bit impressive at the same time. Like, this is a very awkward team, the two of you. You're kind of at nearly polar opposites of the ethics structure, but as far as your interest in anatomy, it's something you both probably share at least a little bit of.
Parts are parts.
Arteme, as you're leaned over this creature and doing your best to kind of crack through the rib cage or what there is of one, it almost feels metal-like. It's clearly a mineral of some sort, but it feels very, very hard, certainly harder than bone. As you're trying to carve your way through this to get the rib cage open and to get to the heart and what other organs might be behind it. You do your best to get there, but you keep having to kind of shove off this medic who you're still bleeding from the shoulder wound and the stab wound in the stomach, or in the solar plexus almost. And he's just trying his best to like bandage it up, and he keeps pouring alcohol on it, which stings, and you have to kind of shake your arm off to kind of get the sting wiggled around, making it very complicated and harder for you to get the dissections done. But the progress is still going, and you at least seem to be getting through this creature. Are you guys looking for anything specific in the studying of the internal organs of this thing?
I'd like to see if there's magic conduits or stuff like that, or anything that's weird.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check. Actually, two. I want a sleight of hand check and an investigation check. Oh, there's our fox back. There's our fox. Yep, a 1 and a 5. That's right. You carving your best through this creature. You're really not seeing much of great interest, but it's hard to tell because there's these like amniotic sacs almost that cover each of the organs, and you have to cut each one open, and the liquid that pours out from it looks like pure alcohol, like IPA kind of alcohol, and it's so noxious that you can't really breathe that you gather it's probably toxic, of course, and every time you do so, it seems that as soon as the sac is punctured, the organ inside dissolves almost instantly. So it becomes this pudding like soup almost. It's hard to tell what it was before the sac was punctured.
So it's just really weird and different.
You're trying your best, and it just seems like everything. Like if you had a couple of more of these, you could probably, now that you know how that works, you could probably handle it a little bit differently for the next one. But everything you're trying with this one, it keeps just kind of falling and decomposing right in front of you.
It's too old, or the magic that was used, or what it is. It over time?
It seems more like, because this clearly is a creature that is intended to transform from one shape to another, that its organs almost seem not physically connected by much, and these bubbles that are inside of it, these pools, these sacs, these amniotic sacs that contain each individual organ are when the sac part touches the next organ's amniotic sac, there's enough of an osmosis connection there that it operates some way in that way, and that when its shape changes, those moves, those sacs inside of it just kind of rearrange or something, you don't know. But either way, as soon as you puncture any of these to really try to study it, they end up kind of dissolving inside by whatever acid that's in there reacting with the air, it seems.
Similar to blood turning red.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, well, that's not really a true thing, anyways. But as far as the oxidization, that's just the old wives' tale of it. But yeah, that same idea, yes, of that is that as soon as it makes contact with the air, that it's causing a chemical reaction with whatever acid is inside of it and is melting it essentially.
Okay, so I'll just catalog that, do like a drawing, and go from there.
Okay, all right. Nazim, you manage to gather as much as you can off of this thing. The skin is very awkward. There's in places where it's hard, like a mineral, and there's places where it's like a soft, pliable skin. More like human skin. And you're able to kind of peel off those bits. The harder bits, when you try to peel them off, feel like they're attached to whatever skeletal structure this thing, was supposed to have. It seems, and you could probably chip away at it maybe, but it doesn't really feel like it would be pliable no matter what you did. So it probably wouldn't really become any kind of leather anyways. It would still be more stone-like.
Yep, just pulling off some swaths.
Okay.
A little bit larger than a playing card.
Okay. I'll say that you are able to gather about a dozen or so of those, of this creature's skin.
All right.
Norak, what do you... Yeah, go right ahead. Go ahead and add it to your inventory, too. So you can just click the little scroll down to, tools or whatever section you think that might be useful in. Click the add button, and then you can just give it a title. And if it needs stats, I'll put it in there for you later. What's Norak doing, G? Watching them, try to, cut this thing into pieces.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go now and wash my hands and get a drink.
Okay. All right. Then you make your way. The medic or the infirmary does have plenty of stations for washing your hands, anyways. But you mean as far as going to the crow's nest?
Yeah, I'll go grab a pail.
Okay. All right. Crow's nest is still it's quite empty in here. Last time you were here, it was probably at least double the number of people. There's only one corner where there's three soldiers that are sitting at a table. A little bit quiet. They're not drinking that you can tell. They're just probably having some some lunch of some sort. But it's not. They're having ale with their food, but they're not getting drunk. Basically, it is the middle of the day. You gather maybe they're just not on duty today or something. But you're able to get yourself a table and have a fat lamb chop of mutton. All right. Anybody else doing anything?
Once I finish the picture and that, I guess I'll ask the medics what they want me to do with the parts that are left.
I mean, you brought it. What do you? I mean, we can dispose of it if that's what you're asking at.
Yes, please.
Okay. I am going to spend the rest of the time writing a kind of a will out in my room on some parchment that I'm going to leave next to the little box of my extra stuff that I left in there.
Okay.
If it ever comes up,
Sure.
I haven't written one yet, but in case.
Just to remind yourself that it's there, then you can use maybe the lockbox item or something like that, just so that you know that you have it.
Sure.
Okay. Pepperjack with the group then. With the rest of the group, anyways. Well, I don't know that we're going to be able to get much out of it then, Lady Arteme. That's not much useful came of the dissection then, it seems.
Not really. It was a bit too damaged, it seemed.
No clues for where she might be then?
No.
All right. He kind of lowers his head a little bit and makes his way towards the stairs. Over to... Go ahead.
Follow and then return back to the library.
Okay. All right. Well, you make your way down to the library and find Sarah there. Sarah, what are you reading? What are you looking for?
I am looking for anything on, super old magic from Vabby. Anything I can find on it.
You find a somewhat familiar title that you've seen this book before, not the exact copy, and that the hand it's written a little bit differently. But the best thing you can find on Ancient Vabby here, remember this Crowfort teleports. This goes from place to place. It's not normally here. And what you find is a book that, like I said, the title sounds a little bit familiar on, and it is A History of the Ancient Kings of Vabby. Arteme, when you walk in, you see Sarah's in the corner reading this book, sitting in the chair you usually sit at, and you can see the title from where you're at, and that's a book you've had before.
Oh, okay.
You read
Or that
little bits and pieces, but I think you left it in your room if I remember right. But you have actually had that book before. That's not I wouldn't say popular book, but if you're looking at Ancient Vabby, that is the go-to history.
Okay. I'm gonna go find a book on doppelgangers if I can.
Fine. It would be difficult. Let's say there is a section for creatures, but most of them are of the natural world. Finding something of that sort, they're mostly myth and legend. They're usually called the melted people, which all of you have heard about. They're kind of I've explained it to the rest of the group before this way too, that the way that in the U.S. especially, I don't know about silly Canada, but in the U.S. at least, there are there's tons and tons and tons of like crazy people that have UFO sightings, right? That's what the melted people myths essentially are. That's what they are. They're alien creatures, is what it seems like.
Okay.
So there isn't really you can't find any books about that specifically because this is kind of a reputable source of library books, and they probably wouldn't have what they expect to be kind of crazy theories.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll ask what Sarah's trying to find, and then try and help her then if I can't really find any on that.
All right. So how do I pronounce this? Corvallian. Corvalline.
Yep.
I'll just tell her that I'm trying to find anything on Corvalline, the super ancient death magic from Vabby.
Okay, so I'll go look for more books on Vabby.
Okay. What is?
It's a
Is there a
massager.
frog?
Oh, okay. Like
Whoa, whoa!
where is
Not
that
while
coming
we
from?
play. Whoa!
It's a deep tissue massager.
Yeah, that's not any better.
All right, guys. Then, in searching through the library, there are history books on Vabby. Most of them kind of contain most of the same information, or at least some bits and pieces here and there of the history of the ancient kings of Vabby, which is what Sarah's reading. But you do find what you can gather, anyways, is mostly that Corvalline really is never mentioned anywhere in any of these books. You're not seeing it so far at all. But both of you would know this, having spent some time studying history anyway, that the ancient kings specifically were powerful necromancers and in some cases liches that used Corvalline specifically to raise it. That's the entire workforce of Vabby, as you guys already know, are the dead. So when people die, you sell the body, even if it's your family, you sell the body for whatever it might be worth. The more healthy, let's say, the larger the frame, the stronger they might be or whatever, the more they're worth. But you sell that body to whoever the corpsemonger is in town. That corpsemonger then reanimates them, and now they're workforce. They're a slave that doesn't have any mental state. There's no, there's nothing there. So, they don't feel bad about that in that country, at least. That's what they usually do for these. But anyways, the kings in general are certainly the most powerful of the necromancers in Vabby. Used Corvalline as their primary power source, the same way that you might use Reconditus in the modern day.
Okay. Do any of the ancient kings in the book that they mentioned, do any of them sound like it might be the dude that was talking to Pogo? Like, do they describe them at all?
Pogo's description that he gave you was a humanoid shape, not necessarily human, but humanoid, 2 arms, 2 legs, cowl pulled up over its face, can't see any of its features, just, the shadow inside of a cloak, with an extremely overly tall staff that was curved in the shape of a hook at the top. And that's as much information as he had.
Does the book have anything about, like, any of them using a staff like that?
No, nothing that stands out. Like, staves in general are pretty common amongst mages, of course. That's a pretty generally you find a mage with a staff almost always. No, you're fine. It is a very, like, the staff was very distinct, though. It was much too tall. It was probably 8 to 9 feet tall. It's like basically half again the height of this person was this staff. So that was very strange that the staff was so abnormal. That did stand out to you that Pogo had described it in such a way. But none that stand out to you in that case. Although I will say, as far back as you're reading, very oftentimes think similar to Egypt and its pharaohs, where the pharaohs were often regarded as godlike, right? Well, the ancient Vabians, by myth, not confirmed, no people actually believe this, but by myth, were 8 to 10 feet tall anyway. They were giants in their own right, just the actual people themselves were, and certainly their rulers were taller still. So for them, a staff might be normal. Does that make sense?
Okay. Is there anything in the history book of any of them trying to become gods? Like
almost every one of them.
Great.
Yeah. Almost. That was a very common theme amongst each of them. In fact, it only stopped when the Great Serpent of Autumn, Sek, who is the serpent that the Vabians are trying to find the scales of. The reason that this Crowford is under siege right now is because of that. That ascended when it became aware of itself and ascended to semi-divine state. That was put a stop to. In fact. And if anything, there's probably a little bit of a similarity in timeline, let's say, maybe a span of 50 years either direction when Corvalane stopped being used.
Great.
When the Great Serpent ascended.
I'm just going to sit here and read then until I think enough time has passed for Ozzy to be back, and then I'm going to go find him.
Okay. Well, if none of you have anything else that you're trying to do specifically for the duration of that time, it's probably another hour and a half. So if you guys anybody else do anything during that time?
Ben said
Reading.
no.
Okay. Artemis, I'm going to go ahead and say that between the two of you, that you guys kind of research as best you can, and the two of you come up with all that information, okay? So you guys share that knowledge. Is that fair?
Yep.
All right. Nazim or Pogo doing anything else during that time?
Nah, he's writing his memoirs.
Okay. All right. I would say that so not just a will, but actual memoirs now.
Well, no, it's just a will with it's basically a will.
Okay. If you actually are, even if you're not going to write the actual words, if you want to give me some notes of like the tone and the intent of it later, just let me know. Just put it in your character channel or something. If it's if you're going to refer to it or anything. Anyways,
hopefully I don't, but that's what Pogo's going to do. That's his mind. That's where his mind's at right now.
Sure. All right, then you figure enough time has probably passed that at least as far as what Pepperjack said, that Ozzy should be arriving. By now he should be there.
All right, I'm gonna go look for him.
Okay. Anybody else? I mean, you all know that Ozzy was supposed to be arriving back at the war room around this time. So
yeah, I'll go.
Okay. Nazim, Pogo.
Yeah, if it's time.
Okay.
I think I would just go out there after a few hours to meet up with the rest of the group.
Sure.
No point in taking a short rest, I don't think. Yeah. I'd just do my thing and then
Okay.
meet up with everyone.
Nazim, you going as well?
I'll go, and with a small smile on my face, kind of shuffling the different types of skin around in my hand like a hand of gin rummy.
All right. I mean, they're not hard. They're still floppy flesh right now.
Yeah.
Okay. You're dealing cards of floppy, bloody, wet flesh. Gross. All right. All right. You guys make your way back to the war room then. I guess I can go ahead and get rid of the corpse on here. You make your way back, and you stepping in through the doorway, you see clearly an extremely exhausted Pepperjack. Obviously still has not gotten any sleep whatsoever. And Ozzy on the other side of the table. They seem to be aware that you guys were walking in because you guys make noise when you come in. I wouldn't say that you interrupted anything, but there's a tension in the room. Oh, it's nice to see you back. Pogo doing well, I assume?
I'm doing good enough. Nice sleep. Got, bones all cracked and muscles feeling a bit better. I've been worse. How's that?
Yeah, that's only fair. I'm glad that they were able to return you to us. Your help has been invaluable despite your stature.
Yeah, I mean, my stature has been a bit of a pushback, but it's fine. I'm getting used to it. It's been a few years, so not too bad.
Well, you halfling are hardy folk. It takes more than
That's what I keep getting told.
takes more than one death to keep you down, I guess.
Yeah, let's try not to do that again.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't have to.
So the commander said you had something to talk to me about?
Yeah, I actually have a question for you. So, when we go, you have to use a spell slot to bring us back or to send us anywhere, correct?
The world doesn't talk in terms of spell slots,
Yeah.
but yes, it does. It does require a certain amount of energy that only that anybody only gets back when they sleep. Yes, but he essentially yes, he says yes.
Would you be willing to teach me that spell so we didn't have to drain your resources?
It's less a matter of willingness and more a matter of, and pardon me for saying this, Lady Sarah. Of course, I don't mean to offend, but let's say capability. I'd certainly say that you would be able. It's just going to take more time studying before you'd have the competence to be able to master these runes. Is all.
All right. You want to give me some pointers on what I should be studying?
I mean,
Because I hate having to drain your resources, especially in the instance that, I came back and Clover wasn't able to because of that. So, then this whole weird thing happened. So,
yeah, the commander was just filling me in on that, and I don't mean to demean his own sleepiness, but I would very much like for you to be able to do it so that I can stop getting woken up in the middle of the night as well.
yeah,
But the first step, really, in answer to your initial question there, would be to take your test. As long as you have the official sanctioning to be able to use these kinds of powers, then I will certainly do my best to teach you.
great. Yep, that's on the list of many things to do in the next month.
From my understanding, my EB should be well on the way to recuperation and able to head out for the away mission in 3 to 4 weeks. So, fingers crossed, right?
Exactly. And then that's all I have to ask. I don't know if you guys need to talk to him about anything.
Anybody? It's nice to see you all.
Yeah, those.
It was a little strange
gone
that
for a few days.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little strange that Sarah came back without you and everything, so that was odd.
Yeah, I hadn't quite told him that.
I see. Pardon me for putting my foot in my mouth.
That's okay. This
She's
whole
an
situation
independent
on
woman.
me.
All
Yeah,
that matters, we can't turn back time, and all that matters is we move forward, and maybe we learn something from it. And hopefully
Absolutely.
going,
And
Just
she is
going
not
forward,
looking
we
at
can all be
anybody
better
with the eye.
people.
Is this some newfound harmony, some peace you've earned, Pogo, with your recent experience?
You could call it that, I guess. More of a self-reflection, I suppose. I mean, it's probably fleeting. Let's be honest, but
I mean, I certainly liked the old Pogo, but if this is a more peaceful existence for you, then by all means, who are us to fault you for having seen the other side and made your way back? Of course, I would change a half man.
drop the half-man speak. It's fine. Come on, you don't have to. Come on, let's just.
Oh, have
pretend
you lost your sense of
you don't have
humor
to
now
call me
too,
a
Pogo?
half-man.
I meant no offense, Pogo. I was only kidding. I
Don't even
apologize.
get one day of sympathy until there's the jokes coming out. I see how it is. I see how it is.
Okay. Let me take it all back. I apologize entirely. That was rude of me. I sincerely meant no offense. You
Right,
very much
all right.
earned the right of respect, certainly of the at least a day, as you say, of not being ridiculed about your height.
Agreed. Don't be short with him.
Pogo's just gonna kind of like side glance into Zim. That was pretty good actually. That was well timed. That one's a good one. I'd like to see that. You just work on your timing, Ozzy. Next time I come back, you try again, and then we'll see.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. I'll try to assume your skin is a little bit thinner than it had been previously. That's all.
See, Pepperjack, it's the little things he appreciates.
Oh, now you're just pushing your luck. That was a bit pedantic.
Shallow and pedantic.
Shallow and pedantic.
Well, we've got much work to do. Is there anything else you all have to ask and attend to? We've got to try to figure out where Clover is. So,
I don't think so. We're probably going to be heading up to Norok's home country. So,
And Ozzy turns. Speaking of, then I assume. Well, I guess when do you intend to depart?
Yeah, we haven't really discussed that or how we're getting there. So
But if you want to learn the spell, you should probably do that before we depart.
I can't do that until after I take my test, which requires me to go towards the capital. So we should probably do Norok's thing first.
Yeah, then the capital.
Yeah.
Where is your where are you trying to get to?
What was Norok's homeland?
The mountains, the Antaros Mountains.
Yeah, it's the the Antaros is the tribe. It's the Cork and Kerry Mountains, and Norok's home. The actual area is called White Holler.
Yeah. So
You're trying to get to White Holler then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, where I sent you, Eifelstead is about as near as you can get there. You could go further into the Wood Plains. I can send you further south. It might be a further. Well, here's the trouble, right? You guys, it sounds like you didn't leave under the best of circumstances, so it's quite likely that the teleportation circle there is going to be under watch. So if I send you back there, you may be captured immediately, for all I know. I can send you further south into the Wild Plains. I can send you further north, up near the capital.
I think I got a map to try and see like where the best point is.
Sure. All right. So going north. Here, let me.
If you look in my diplomat's pack in the bag of holding, there's a map holder and 2 maps in there, I believe. If you need to write or draw some maps.
You'll see a new section on there that I added a while back. You'll see a section on there that I added a while back. You guys haven't seen it yet, but right where it says half of the word Antaros is cut off, but you see like kind of snowy mountains there. That's where Norok's homeland area is. So what he was saying is he could send you back to Eifelstead, which is where Pale is also cut off to the right of that. But that circle there will likely be being watched. And you could get arrested almost immediately. He could send you further southwest into the Wild Plains, but you'd have to cross the plains to get there to get back to White Holler, which would be a further trek, but is almost certainly not being watched because it's not run by Pale, and therefore the oligarchy couldn't be having that circle being watched, if that makes sense. He can't really send you any further north because you would certainly get arrested there, and you guys are... in fact, actually, Pepperjack probably chuckles a little bit and jokes that now you are not only outlaws in the Empire, but also in Pale. So how many more of these, annexed countries on the edge of the Empire are you guys going to be outlawed from before you're done?
Well, I was kind of already that way before,
But you decided to drag your friends in with you?
I tried to leave them behind.
That doesn't really even sound better when you say it.
Yep, I'm realizing that. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut from now on.
Norok, you do know that the Wuod Plains, there's tons and tons, there's thousands of plains tribes across the plains there. It's a very open and wild area, and the Empire has tried numerous times to kind of move in there and annex the area the same way that they did for Pale and the Estermark and Aukus and all the other kind of border regions. But there's just, the people are so disparate and not... there's no cities. It's all roaming plains tribes. They're all what's the word I'm looking for? Migratory, migratory barbarian tribes, essentially. But they are people just like yours. They're just not mountain people. They're plains people for the most part. Although the mountains do run through that area as well. It is also where the drought horses are from, the Jag.
Yeah, well, it'll probably be safer to go there then, because probably won't have Empire people or Juthrans or anybody like that running around out there.
Yeah.
So south to the plains, I'd suggest.
Good.
All right. When do you intend to depart?
Well, we'd probably need another day or two, right? Because you guys need to rest up more.
Yeah, we could do a bit more research and rest up a bit more.
Okay. All right. Well, then I will get back to ferrying resources in the meantime with my world-bending power. I'm grocery shopping, but I will do that instead, and then tomorrow morning when you guys are ready to go, I will send you out for your next deadly adventure.
Sounds great. You should stop by the keep and come have some wine. Hang out. Relax.
He gives you kind of a grin. I may just do that, especially to make sure that Pogo's doing okay. His loss of a sense of humor is really worrying.
It's not gone. It's just... it was a rough day yesterday. I'm just getting back to my normal groove. it opens your eyes. I feel like
okay.
it's just an event that happens.
I'm not saying it's a
Still
bad
have it.
change. I'm not saying it's been a bad change, Pogo. I'm saying that it's a worrying one. I'm just concerned for your safety and your health. That's all.
Everyone worried about me not telling jokes.
Yep.
I mean, we all need as much humor as we can, and you're normally a good source of that. You're a daily dose
it's
of vitamin
fine.
humor.
Sure. Weird thing for us to be concerned about, but I understand. I understand.
All right. Then let's go ahead and wrap up then, guys. We'll go ahead and call it here for that. We may, depending on, you know what, here's what we'll do, guys. If you have anything specifically that you want to do the next day, you know, basically it's going to take at least one more day for Pogo to recuperate. I'll say that, honestly, even if you leave the day after, Pogo's probably still going to be a little bit on the, he won't be mechanically affected, but he'll probably still be very just beaten, you know, just tired, and you know, but he won't have exhaustion anymore. But basically, after the following day, none of you guys would have exhaustion anymore. So if there's anything specific that you guys want to do tomorrow, then, you know, let me know on your channels or whatever, and we can prepare that portion of it. Otherwise, we'll pick up the next day when you guys are ready to teleport out. Is that fair?
Sweet.
Cool.
Word up, homie.
Then everybody good for the Sako. It was the 24th that you'll be gone, right?
Correct, 24th.
Okay.
25th.
Okay. Then everybody good for the 17th?
Yep.
Yeah, I should be.
All right, guys. Then we will meet up next week.
Toodles, guys.
Night, everybody.
Have a good evening.